We here one more again. Come on up in here, man. Come on up in here and hit that like button. Come up in here, man, and hit that share button. Come up in here and greet one another right now. We here to see another day. Come on, man. You know what I mean? I ain't talked to y'all in a little minute. You know, on some game type. You know? Now today is gonna be a little different. You know? Today gonna be a little different. I know some of y'all was waiting, you know, like, oh man, sin getting ready to come through. You know what I mean? No. You know what I mean? I'm coming through, but today we gonna listen to somebody else. You know what I mean? That's why I brought Sharron, you know, on the platform. I know when some of y'all seen the title, y'all thought I was gonna be coming in here live, you know, preaching and things, you know, like saying this just what we need. You know, I know what y'all wanted from me, you know, but now Sharron, I'm getting ready in a minute to call Sharron, let Sharron speak, you know, but no, I'm not gonna speak this time. You know what I mean? This is for Sharron. Matter of fact, I want my mods to make sure you go to Sharron Winbush channel right now. Yeah, come back with that link. Oh man, appreciate that. Support the Prince, Punchy. You know, yeah, I know some of y'all thought I was gonna come up in here just tearing up and ripping up, verbally crucifying homosexuals and all of the gay stuff coming up. You know, yeah, you thought I know with the sword. Every time I look around, it seems like every time I get on the ground, I see a nigga with a dress on. I know y'all was ready. Every time I look to the left, every time I look to the right, it look like it's some gay shit going on. Yeah, I know y'all. I know you thought I was gonna come. Oh man. It was just so much gay shit going on outside. I had to go back in the motherfucking house. No, it ain't. Oh, I know y'all thought I was going. No, but do me a favor, man. Get them likes up. Come on, man. Get them likes up, man. Get them likes up. You know, make sure you share her channel. You know, we need as many likes as we can get, man. That's going to bring, get the notification and the notifications and the recommendations out there, you know? Yeah, like the video now. That's right, bro. Good looking, man. But let me go ahead and call Sharron. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. All right. Come on, man. Y'all hit the like button, man. Y'all tripping. How come that like button ain't move? Come on now. Salute, brother. Salute to you. Salute.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Hello? I heard an answer. We gotta get a good signal, I guess. I don't know. But in the meantime, while we waiting for Sharron to come in, man, hit that like button. Yeah, that signal, I guess her signal in that area went out. What's good for, oh man, just staying out the way while endeavoring to have my way. On one end and the other end having it, you know what I mean? But just staying out the way. You know, kind of easier to do out here. She can't hear you, P. I mean, I'm on the speaker, boy. I'm as loud as you gonna get. Let me turn it up. Yeah, the like button, they got a personal vendetta against that like button, man. they got into a discrepancy with that like button. Hello? Hello? I see that she answered, but hold on, let me check my text messages. Hold on. I mean, can you guys hear me? Is my audio messed up? Let me know now. This is. Okay, I'm loud and clear. Okay, cool. You said, is she being shy? Come on, man. Knock that off. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Look at you. Look at Marcus talking about, hey, live. Hello? Hold on. I thought she had picked. Let me do this right quick.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. I've been hearing you.
Oh, okay.
I've been I thought something was wrong with me.
Yeah, I was calling you back, and then it was going to voicemail, and
Oh, wow.
we got it now.
Okay. Cool. Let me make sure they can hear you good. Sharon, go ahead and just say hello. I just want to make sure that people can hear you.
Hi, everybody.
Oh yeah, that should sound good. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Somebody had the nerve to sit up there and say, is Sharon shy? Man, please. You know what I mean? You must not been at her channel, man. No, she not shy. Hell no.
Right.
Yeah, they said that you sound good. Well, let me just say that I'm glad. I appreciate, you know what I mean, God for blessing us to live another day. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and receive some information about a very important topic within it. You know, I hope you guys hit that like button and hit the share button, mods. I want you to at least every 10 to 15 minutes, really every 5 minutes, you know, keep that link for Sharon's channel, you know, in the comment section, you know, so people can have the opportunity to go to her channel. And I appreciate everybody for coming in. But yeah, get them likes up. Y'all tripping. We almost got almost 300 people in here already, and it's only on 179 likes. You know, man, I told Sharon that she had the opportunity to sit up there and come on our channel and speak as long as she want to speak about whatever she desired to speak, like a visiting evangelist. You know, so y'all show love, man. You know what I mean? Show love. We really appreciate you coming on here. They've been knowing about you. They've been knowing about you because I share damn near all your content, you know what I mean, on the Patreon. That's how they know that it's so many lies that's been told because of your content on your channel. You know?
Okay, good.
Yeah. So without any further ado, let me step to the side. I appreciate everybody for coming up in here. We got Sharron Winbush. I'm very happy because no disrespect. Let me just get this in. Let me just slide this in. I see the other content creators pertaining to Rob, you know what I mean, and some do a very good job. But as far as being an informative representative, speaking eloquently, representing Rob, you know, having the confirmation of information, because a lot of you have gotten on platforms and you said things, but you didn't have the confirmation of what you was talking about. You know, I seen one lady get on lead attorneys things, and you said some good things, but you just didn't have the confirmation ready. So you just looked like you were just talking. But Sharon always is ready. She ain't got to get ready because she stay ready. So without any further ado, man, I'm going to step to the side and allow Sharon to introduce herself and, go ahead and say whatever she desires to say. Go ahead, Sharon.
And the reason my information is genuine and authentic is because I've actually worked with Robert. I work with celebrities. I've been in the celebrity world my entire life. So I know that world. I know how famous people move, and I also know how people move that want to get to famous people. So when I speak, I'm speaking from life experience, from knowledge, from education, and just boots on the ground being there and seeing things up close and personal. So with Robert, I've been in his home. I know how he moves as an individual. I know the power of his fame and his celebrity. He's a sex symbol. He's an icon. He's a legend. And you have females that want to have sex with famous men, period. And they will chase them and go after them and pursue them. And it's everybody, any man with money, with power, with celebrity, is being chased by people pursuing them, wanting to be a part of what it is that they have. And oftentimes these people have nothing to bring to the table. So what we're saying with Robert is just an egregious abuse of our judicial system, attacking this man and going after him for basic, fundamental rock star behavior. These females pursued him. They hunted him. In the case where they alleged that they were underage, they lied. They admitted under oath that they lied. So how do you put all that money and time and energy putting this man behind bars for people that you have to give immunity to? They've got to give immunity to practically everybody that took the stand. And what this is who's really behind it, in my opinion, is the Me Too and Time's Up movement. They are going after heterosexual men, attacking them, destroying them in the court of public opinion to replace them in the workplace with females. Because women are bitter and angry at men. They feel that men have cheated on them and left them for younger women, or date outside of their ethnic group, or just men using their power to not pay women as much money. The grievances go on and on and on. And what they're not paying attention to is, if you are in a relationship with a man, and this is one of those lightning rod topics, if a man doesn't make more money, how is he to take care of his wife and kids? I don't want a male as a roommate. So I want the man to bring in more money, because a man should cover what's his. It's biblical. You cover your wife and your children. And so if you're in a marriage and you have 2 or 3 kids, and the man is, at least that's how it was with my grandfather and my father and most of the men that I've been around, they take care of their households. So they bring home, they start a business, they work, they bring their checks home. Either the woman helps the man with the business, she may have a job, or she takes care of the home and takes care of the children. But traditionally, that's how it has gone. As women gained more rights and more power, they wanted equal pay. Well, then what do you do about the guy that is still in that position of taking care of his wife and kids? And I do think that women should be paid commensurate with a male on the job. But to act as if things are fair across the board, they're not doing that. Even in the workplace, we see females pursuing men who are in higher positions. We've all seen it. If you've worked in corporate America or on any job, You have the boss, you have the vice president, you have the manager, the assistant manager, whoever is looking for a come up tends to target the person who can give them a better position with the company. Men and women do it. So to act as if men are just in the workplace taking advantage of these poor, docile women simply is not true. Are there some instances where that happens? Absolutely. But there are more instances where the female pursues the boss, pursues the married man, pursues the person in a position to give her a raise because she wants to elevate herself and come up and oftentimes be the mistress or be the side chick or be whatever so that she can get money. You have all of that going on in human behavior. And to act as if men are the only culprits, men are the bad guys, men are the ones that are taking advantage of women, it's not a fair picture of what's going on in the male-female dynamic. And men know that when you approach a female to date her, the first thing she wants to know is, what do you do for a living? They don't ask you, what books do you read? They don't ask you, what's your education? It's always, what job do you have? Because women have been conditioned throughout history to marry up, to look for a guy that has the means to take care of you. And that's global in every ethnic group across the board, as far back as you can remember in history. Men have been promised young females and families because the man had wealth. So when a family's daughter turned 15 or 16, she was promised to some wealthy man as a way of elevating that family. That stuff still goes on today. It's just kept, quiet and done a little different. You have people sending their daughters out to get men that have something. And they'll tell them, don't date a guy that's broke. Don't date a guy that has nothing to offer you. Mm-hmm. So you get into this position where women are going after men with money and they're bypassing the guys that don't have that much money. And then they want to cry foul if they didn't get to the position of wife or mistress or whatever it is that they were looking for. What you heard when these women left the stand was they didn't get what they thought they were going to get out of it, meaning a house, a car, $1 million, whatever it is that they thought they were going to, their body was worth. It was an exchange of goods and services. It was literally prostitution, but doing it backwards. I'm going to have sex with this guy in exchange for shopping sprees, eating in five-star restaurants, shoes, purses, things like that. And then because there are other women in competition for these same men, and if the man has money, then okay, he might have 4 or 5 females because he can afford to take care of everybody. Now the female is competing with the other female, and it wreaks havoc in the situation. And that's really how this whole thing with Robert got started. Asante McGee was in the house, I guess, trying to compete with the younger females, allegedly stealing their money, stealing their clothes. As Riel and Joy told on her, Robert got rid of her, and she's the one that called the parents. She's the one that contacted the Savages and the Clarys and told them all of these horrific stories to make them.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look at videos of him at the buffet tour, the tour manager was telling me that he had to kick Asante McGee off the tour or out of the venue several times because she was a groupie that went from show to show to show. She would talk to somebody in the crew, get on stage, start being very sexual with another woman, kissing and rubbing on her and doing all of that to get Robert's attention, to the point where there were men on the side of the stage offering money. Like, can you two come with us? We'll pay you. And so the guy thought that the tour manager thought she was being disruptive. So he kick her out of the venue. She'd show up at the next show and then the next one and the next one. So he absolutely knew who she was because she was problematic in his opinion. Now, how she got to Rob and ended up probably went to a party. People throw those parties and they turn into orgies or, fuck fests or whatever. And, you do whatever you have to do to stay and to get on. They have them all over. Most rich people, or hell, men of any means, they have parties. And one famous, Jamie Foxx, I wasn't going to name him, but Jamie Foxx, Tyrese, Diddy, all of them throw these parties. And you have maybe 50 guys and 2,000 women that show up to get at these well-to-do, famous men. And at 11 o'clock, they have everybody turn in their cell phones, and they announce, if you're not fucking or sucking, you got to leave. So everybody, the food is free, the drink is free, and I know people that attend these parties, and they want to go to every one of them. They don't care that it's 2,000 other females in a dental floss and Band-Aid, showing everything, because they're fishing for a whale. They're going after what they consider to be a high-quality man. And what are they using? Their bodies. Because all of them show up practically naked. So, and when they say it's 11 o'clock, if you're not fucking or sucking, you got to leave, very few people leave. Maybe a dozen, but most stay.
Okay.
So this goes on all the time, and it's the haves and the have-nots. It's men with money, men with power, and people with power. Women are getting power, and women do some of the same behavior, having sex with the young men in the company and using their power for that. It happens. It's human behavior and sexuality. And you're not going to, as long as there's sexual attraction and there's the money gap, you're going to have people willing to use their bodies and exchange their bodies for money, male and female. You don't think men are trying to get at Oprah? Of course they are. Michelle Obama, Jada Pinkett, they go after the women whose husbands have the money.
Hold on.
If the woman...
Hold on, Sharron. Let me just say this. Hit that like button. And no, this is not a recording. We are live right now. This is what it sounds like when you allow somebody to just speak without interrupting them. That's why it sounded like a recording. We're live right now. I know you're used to interviewers interrupting the speaker every 5 seconds. You know what I mean? But no, this is what it sounds like when you speak in the vernacular of silence and allow the speaker to speak without interrupting them. But please stop disrespecting the game that's coming forth. Get them likes up. Break yourself for the likes. Break yourself for the shares. You know what I mean? Come on. Sharron is bringing this truth. You know what I mean? So go back, Sharron. I didn't mean. I just had to get them likes up so we get them people out there. But go ahead.
Yeah, so you have men and females that pursue anyone with means as a come up. It's the name of the game. How are you going to get, some women want to use their brain. Some women want to go to school and work for what they get. Others want to lay on their back. And it's been going on since the beginning of time. Why are we acting like Robert is this bad guy and, oh my God, we've never heard of such things? What we're hearing in that courtroom is absolutely ridiculous. From he made me dress this way or he makes me do this. No one made you do anything. The door, you knew where the door was. You could have left at any point. And everybody has rules. The judge has rules. You go in that courtroom, there are rules. She said, I don't want cameras. That's a rule. She said, no reporters. That's a rule. Nobody's happy about the rule, but it's her courtroom. She gets to dictate the rules. It's Robert's house. He gets to say, no, I don't want you roaming around my house. He has expensive things. And what happens is people roam around his house and start taking videos. And, you know, he's had his house broken into. He's had things stolen. So, you know, he doesn't want people just freely moving about his house. If you're there for sex, you're there for sex. And at the point that you want to leave, leave. You heard several people say there weren't locks on the door. They weren't being held hostage. At any point, they could have left. So there's food. If he gave you 5,000 of what was it? Yeah, 5,000 a month. You can't order food for yourself. So he has to give you 5,000 a month, plus feed you, plus tell you when to go to the bathroom. It's insane.
Right.
These accusations are insane, and the charges are insane. Does anybody have any questions in the chat?
In a minute, I was going after you finished speaking. I was going to allow them to, if you was cool with that, I was going to allow them to call in and ask you questions.
Yeah, they can do that.
Yeah.
So what I see this as being an attack on heterosexual men. Across the board, you see, this Me Too and Time's Up movement saying this guy touched my behind 20 years ago. He grabbed my breast 20 years ago. Why are you telling that story? For what? And if it did happen, didn't you reprimand him back then? Why do we need to bring that up 20 years later? We just see across the board, women were complicit with the partying and the drugs and the alcohol and like I told you, these parties out here. 10 years from now, it's going to be all kind of lawsuits flying around. Even though they had them sign confidentiality agreements, even though they announced you can leave, they're going to swear I was drugged and this person took advantage of me. So, with the Playboy Hugh Hefner lifestyle, that was the thing in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and with the the change in music where you see women basically promoting themselves as exchanging sex for money. It's been glorified, and women have gone along with it 1,000%. If you listen to the lyrics of songs that females are singing, from Little Kim to Trina to Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, it's about, getting money and having sex. And this is what the young females are listening to. So they're attacking men, but they're not taking responsibility for their own actions and what they've done to participate and oftentimes initiate these acts and this behavior.
Can I ask you about certain people?
Yeah.
I'm familiar a little bit of her story, but I know you are more informative concerning what happened between R. Kelly and Lisa Van Allen. I know that she came, to my understanding from what she said, she came around Rob during the Home Alone, was it the Home Alone video with Keith Murray?
Yeah.
But see, what I do want to say is this, because that's one thing we do at this channel. We always kept it 100. And I told them that, yes, these women, because, we be talking about mostly pimping and hoeing. And, in the music industry, basically them guys is tricks and them girls is prostitutes. But people try to minimize the situation because of the ages. You know, just like with Ezreal was pretty much being sent to prostitute by her parents.
That's right. Absolutely true.
You know, um, and I just think that, of course, people, they look at a man's gift and they get so caught up in the gifts of a man, and they forget that it's a man. It's still a
Yeah.
man. So Rob does have weaknesses, and he got areas where he wasn't too ganged up because, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, he allowed her to come back into his life, you know, after she had done
Yeah,
some
I don't know
things.
what that was about.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just
Right.
because someone told a story doesn't mean that it's true. Lisa Van Allen, as Azriel is, they are compulsive liars. That means most of what they say is a lie. Lisa Van Allen met him. She had just turned 18. Home Alone, if you look at the video release, it was the end of August 1998, I believe. And Rob, because that's a very simple video, he tended to shoot videos maybe 30 or 60 days before the release, especially something that simple, which means at the time that they were shooting Home Alone in Atlanta, I believe that's where it was shot, she was 18. She said, without evidence to support it, that she went into his trailer and had sex with him. We can neither confirm nor deny. Then she said months later, she went to Chicago. Well, months later, she was definitely 18. And then she had what she started doing initially was saying she lived in the house. But then I came out and said, no, you didn't, because Drea was in the house and I was in the house and you weren't there. So then she switched her story to she was living at the studio. She was staying at the studio. So essentially she was a studio hoe. Now,
Hold on, Sharon. Hold on, Sharon. What you call her?
A studio hoe.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. You know.
I mean, a hoe that just hangs out at the studio ready to fuck when the artist is ready to fuck.
Now,
And every studio has them.
right.
Every artist has studio hoes. I mean, it comes with the territory.
So basically, we have a bunch of square, promiscuous pedestrians, sucking on, blacks and Mexicans, celebrities for currency. We got a whole bunch of brides getting on Vlad TV and different platforms, making themselves bigger than what they are, saying that they was in a relationship, saying that they was at the house, but they were really nomads, just at the studio.
Yeah. And even Azriel, I just did a video, recently I did a video. She was a studio hoe. You're not going to move some chick into your house. They got to go through the ranks, so to speak. So, at the time that Lisa Van Allen was on deck, he had Drea and his kids. So she definitely wasn't going to be in the house. But Rob is not the type to tell you to leave. So if she's at the studio, he doesn't give a shit if you want to sleep there. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure he didn't offer it. It sounds to me like she went and then just didn't leave. And, he's busy doing him, so he probably doesn't even notice, oh, you still here? That type of thing.
Right.
And oftentimes they don't care. Like, what do I care if a chick want to sleep on the floor in the studio? Okay. I might need my dick sucked in an hour. And that'll be, she already here. Good.
And see, that's the type of vibe that I was getting because of listen, common sense ain't common, but damn. The man is writing, hit after hit, producing hit after hit. Rob, we need you to work on this. Rob, we need you to work on this artist. Rob, we need you to do this. We need you to do this. Do you think you can write for the Life soundtrack? Do you think you could do this? Do you think you can help her? You know what I mean? Do you think...
Right.
So with him writing for himself and for everybody, This man is not omnipresent. As Bobby Womack said,
Right.
I can't be in two places at one time. So
That's right.
these stories just do not logically make sense. It's a bunch of, and I'm just got to keep it 100. You know, we keep it 100 over here. You know, bitches always make themselves more important than what they are. You know, and just the way you explained it, that's where I always seen it. Like, yeah, you know, you can kick it at the studio. You need some food. Okay, you know what I mean? Whatever. You know, but while he working on these hits, yeah, I wouldn't mind you sleeping on the floor wherever you at. You know what I mean? And when my dick get hard again, you know, for a little break, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I might break you off and go right back to working on my music. That's exactly how I seen that shit.
Because that's exactly how it was. You know, and you got to think about it. It's time management. And that's why, you know, they're like, oh, he chose this type. No, that type is the type that will sleep in a dirty ass studio and fuck on demand, because he's writing and producing, and he's got this and he's got that, and I got to produce for this person, and I got to write for this person. He doesn't have time to stop and call this A-list artist and fly her in and go to dinner with her and go sit up and have drinks at the Four Seasons. He would love to do that, but I have all these demands that I have to meet. And this chick is right here, ready to crawl in here and do what needs to be done, and then go back and wait until the next time. So it's just out of necessity and time management. It is what it is. And at the point that you don't want to do it, it's a stack of numbers. Every day that I took food by the studio, there was a new stack of phone numbers sitting, you know, on his table. And yes, I was nosy and went through them. So that's how I know the numbers were changing every day. I know what the pursuit was. Rob is a sex symbol. He's an icon. He's a global sex symbol around the world. The women are lined up to suck his dick. It is what it is. Don't hate, congratulate. You know, let a man do what he do. So
now what you
these
said,
women.
hold on, what you said is on point, because just piggying back before I asked about the next nomad that was at the studio, I remember Demetrius Smith telling me, he said, P, I was talking to Rob. I don't know how true it was. Of course, I wasn't physically there. But he said while he was talking to Rob, Lisa Van Allen didn't say nothing to Demetrius. She just walked right in, got on her knees, and just started sucking Rob's dick right in front of Demetrius. You know what I'm saying?
And why does she do it? Because I want to outperform the next bitch that might get up in here. What do I have to offer this man? Absolutely nothing but my sexual ability. So I got to be willing to do whatever, whenever, however, so that he wants me around. And that's what it comes down to. When you come into somebody's life, what value are you bringing?
Right.
What value did they bring? If all you have is your ability and your willingness to do what needs to be done sexually, then that's going to be the category that he puts you in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, yeah, you're going to sleep at the studio. He didn't make you. You chose to do that because you didn't have any place else to go.
Right.
If you got something better, you're going to leave there and come back. But they knew once I leave, it's hard to get Robert on the phone. And that's what I tell people. It's hard to get him on the phone. And if you're trying to have sex with him, good luck cutting the line. Like, chicks are around the block. So once you get in, you don't want to leave. You do want to stay there because you know the minute you leave, the next one is going to be up in there. And the next one, and the next two, and the next three, whatever it is. So it becomes a competition even at that level, even at the thought level. It's competitive because they want a shot at wife. They want a shot at the one that's being financially taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's entry-level position, but they fighting to get that.
Right. Right. Makes a whole lot of sense. Now, I done heard you tell this story a million times, but I just, for my platform, I need you to do that 1,000,001. Uh, Concerning, Sparkle, because, I was just really looking at her crazy because she put on a stellar performance on the Breakfast Club. She made it seem like, she wasn't, they never got in a relationship. She was so focused on her career, and she didn't want to go there. She said Rob was handsome, but no, we were just friends, and so could you please give us that history concerning what you experienced and what you saw that confirmed that Sparkle had more than just a so-called friendship, with Robert Kelly?
First of all these below average chicks all turned the king of R&B down. Like, come on. Really? I did not want to have sex with this multimillionaire sex symbol. I'm from the hood and I turned him down. Get the fuck out of here. But Sparkle was, she met him years before. See, when they tell a story, because I know Robert and I know how he maneuvers, I fill in the blanks. I know what they're not saying. So she said she went to the studio with her girlfriend. She didn't audition that time. That tells me she went down there and did a menage a trois with him. Because what you going to the studio for? He ain't doing but two things: making music or fucking. That's it. So when you tell me you weren't there on the music side, then that tells me you were there on the get down side. Okay, not a problem. Then I guess she somehow got with Earl Robinson, the dude from Public Announcement, was dating him, married him. She left him to pursue Robert. Dre and Earl put together a demo tape. They wanted to do an album. Dre gave it to Rob. Rob said, send her down here. She's going to have to sleep on the studio floor to get this album done in 30 days. Now, Rob is a workaholic and he is maniacal. But clearly, Sparkle let him know in no uncertain terms she's willing to do whatever, however, to jump over all the other below average females that are on deck. So one day, they were clearly into a relationship at the point that her album came out with the one-hit wonder that she had on there. But one day I was looking for some matches in the house, and he has this dining room set, and I looked in the top drawer, and I'm feeling around for matches, and something was, scratching my skin, which I thought could have been the edge of a matchbox or something. And I saw they were pictures, so I pulled them out and looked at them. And it was Sparkle, several pictures, maybe 10, of her and other females on a king-size bed, intimate with each other. They had on black panties, and, they were touching on each other. And I just went through them very quickly and then tucked them back in the drawer. And then, so I already knew that, I assumed because the picture, I didn't see Rob in the picture. I assumed maybe he was the one taking them. But because they were in the drawer, that said to me that they were involved sexually. Then one day she came by the house. Drea wasn't there that day. She had gone to her mother's. And about 11 o'clock in the morning, Sparkle came in with this other female. Now, typically, Robert does not open the door. He has a housekeeper that would get the door. So the housekeeper was upstairs, and the doorbell rang, so Rob got the door, and I just see this female approaching the kitchen, because I'm in the kitchen preparing food. And I recognize that it's Sparkle, and Rob comes up very quickly and says, "Oh, this is the best nutritionist in the world." as if he has to explain why I'm there. Now, that to a woman is always a telltale sign that you got something going with her, because technically you're her boss. She's coming into your home. You don't have to explain shit,
Right.
you know?
Game recognized
So,
game. Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
So I'm like, So I'm not going to say anything. So I extend my arm over the counter to shake her hand. I said hi. And her arms were folded. She grunted and rolled her eyes and then turned and walked off. Sign number 2. Uh, y'all fucking. And then as she walked away, I could see that she had on a see-through skirt with black panties on. And I said to myself, because I saw the black panties in the picture, and now I said he must have a thing for black panties. And then he was,
Even had an
and
album
then
called Black Panties, but go
years
ahead.
later, he does the album Black Panties, yeah. So, they started going up the stairs, and then I saw another female coming around the piano, going upstairs with them. And it sounded to me as if he was showing them around. Now, I'm a female, so I know when men are doing shit. Well, how I read that situation, Rob had lied to her about being married. Like, nobody knew he was married except, a small circle of people, because he didn't want it out because of his sex symbol image. And obviously, if he's got something going with Sparkle, I don't think she knew. So when she came by the house, the way she was sort of moving with authority through his house led me to believe that she was looking for somebody. Maybe she confronted him. I heard you and Drea got married, and he was like, no, we not. And, well, then why can't I ever come by your house? Oh, you can come by anytime. That type of thing.
Yeah.
So Drea happens to be over her mother's. Sparkle comes by. She wants to see room. And it appeared to me that was the first time she was there because he was showing the various rooms. And then they ended up in the master bedroom. And they didn't come out after that. But the next day when I saw Drea, I said, oh, where were you yesterday? And she said she was over her mother's. So I'm like, yeah, note to self. That was game. So, and then Sparkle talked about the next time she was over there, she was with a bunch of guys and they were watching the game, and she heard a knock. And she said Drea came out and asked to get something to eat. And she looked at Rob and said, you a piece of work or something like that. And he just chuckled. What that said to me was, again, he had him over. And typically what Robert would do, because people weren't supposed to know he was married, he would have Drea take Joanne to her room and just stay there until the company left, if they were people that didn't know that he was married. And her room was equivalent to a suite at the Four Seasons. So it wasn't some small little spot. It was nice and spacious and had a bathroom in there and the refrigerator and that type of thing. So, because I know Drea, I read that situation. On the TVs, you can see who's ringing the door because he had a camera outside. So I concluded that Drea turned to see who was ringing the bell. She saw that it was Sparkle. She probably looked out because from where her room was, you could see, downstairs into the living room. So I'm sure she saw them sitting there, and she wanted her presence known. So she, knocked and said, let me come down. That was to let Sparkle know that I'm in the house. Women do stuff like that. Men don't catch on to shit like that, but I know how we move. So Sparkle then said, she, told Rob, made some little smart remark to him. Well, if he's your boss and this is nothing but a professional relationship, I don't have anything to say to him about what goes on in his house. And she tried to make it seem like she said it because she had to knock to ask to get something to eat. No, that's not why. She did it because Drea was in the house, period. And shortly thereafter, she wanted out of her contract. So 1999 is when Sparkle terminated her contract with Robert. Long before there was any talk of a tape. Now, this is breaking news because I haven't said this to anybody because I just found out. She was dating this producer. I don't know when she started dating him, but he was a producer who she got involved with after Robert, who was supposed to be working on her next album. And the two of them were trying to get something on Robert because this producer hated Robert. She hated Robert. You got to realize at the point that she found out Drea was living in the house, he's married, he has a kid, she thought she was going to be the first lady of Rockland Records. If you listen to all of her interviews, she said she brought all of her family around. You wouldn't do that if you knew this man was married with a kid.
Hold on.
You do that.
Hold on, Sherry. Let me just ask you. Say the name of the record label again.
Rockland Records.
Yeah, and was that R. Kelly's label?
Yeah, under
Okay.
Jive.
Okay. Just wanted to get that understand. Go ahead.
And so she said she brought her brother, nieces, nephews, Greg Landfair. She brought the whole family around. And she told everybody once he got his deal that, you know, she was going to be the hottest act on there. And 1999, for some unknown reason, she asked to no longer be a part of his label. Why? She talked about some big fight they had out at O'Hare, some hotel. She said Barry Hankerson was there. Her brother-in-law, Greg, and Val, her sister, Rashona, Rob, her parents. Why is everybody at this meeting? And this was before any tape. So to me, Sparkle was angry that she had done all these things sexually with this man. She thought she was going to be the first lady of Rockland Records. Maybe she thought he was going to marry her or whatever the case may be. Then at the point that she decides she's not going to fuck with him anymore, she expects her family to leave with her. And they didn't want to, you know, because Rashona had some deal with her group that she had. Greg was playing guitar for him. I think the brother had some type of job. So she brought her family in. Now they're on the payroll. They're working for him. And now because she's pissed, she wants to leave and she wants to take everybody with her. And they're like, no, we ain't going. We like what we doing.
Right. So we with R. Kelly.
Yeah. Whatever you want to leave by. So now she's pissed at everybody. She's pissed at her Val, Greg, Rashona, Robert. And Barry said, remember she said it was some explosive meeting. Now she put her little spin on what happened. I don't think Robert said that nonsense to her father.
When she said
shit she made up. Yeah.
I think it was, you know, I come or something when I see her naked or what it was something.
When I look at your daughter, yeah, who's gonna say that shit to your father?
When I heard it, I was like, this bitch is playing on the hearts of the people. She playing on the hearts of the people. And you got to be brainless and gameless and have no discernment at all to actually believe the shit that's coming out of her mouth right now. Who would actually say that to somebody's parents? Come on, man.
Right, exactly.
Come on, man. Hold on. Let me just say that. This is the same guy that different women
Right.
have come on one accord and said he's a gentleman, he opens the door, you know what I mean? Rob was sweet, he was, and so like a lot of these stories just don't go together. He's a gentleman, but at the same time, he's saying some outrageous shit like that to somebody's parents. That don't sound right.
At a business meeting and everybody's around.
Right.
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
He would not say some crap like, your father would punch the crap out of him. He's not going to say some mess like that.
That's about as crazy.
And you don't even look like anything for somebody to, like, really? You really gassing yourself up, Sparkle.
I never felt Sparkle like that. It's funny you should say that. I always thought that Sparkle was a decent looking bitch by the grace of God. I never thought she was like, oh my God.
She is below average.
Look at Sparkle.
Level.
You know, she just never had that. You know, she's another bitch that just felt like she was greater, you know what I mean, than what the fuck she was. But that story that she told was about as comical and outrageous as when women say that, you know, Rob, he don't want you around no men. He don't want you to look at no men. He don't want you to speak to no men. If you say hi to a man, you know, you're out of bounds, you're out of pocket. But then turn around and say, you know, Rob made us have sex with different men. You know what I mean? Like it just, it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
That shit sounds.
You can't look at them, but they dick can go in. Like really? That doesn't. Come on.
You gotta. I'm in my mind like they need to have a motherfucking million. You know what I mean? Thought march and come together on one accord and get their lives right.
March.
That shit don't sound right, Sharron. But go ahead.
Yeah.
We listen.
I mean, it doesn't. So that's the end of her. Who's next on the hit list?
I do want to find more information concerning and just get a true, you know, because I heard Demetrius' side concerning who Barry Hankerson is. And I know what Wikipedia tell me, you know, and I know what transpired before Aaliyah, you know, was Aaliyah, his thing with Gladys Knight. You know, I didn't did my research on the guy. But from your observation and the information that you have on him, who is Barry Hankerson? And, you know, I also want you to speak concerning after that, like, you know, concern, because there's so many things, people are saying so many things about Rob's masters. You know, one minute, you know what I mean, we're hearing that Rob don't own his masters. Then, you know, we hear that Sony own the masters. Then, you know, we're hearing that Rob trying to sell his masters. So that we won't have no misunderstanding. Bless us with an outstanding understanding about who's presiding over the masters.
Robert's music is not for sale. That I can tell you. I just talked to Keith about that the other day. I understand there was some story in Billboard. Some of his intellectual property was stolen. People went to the warehouse and got, you know, 3 truckloads of stuff and took it out. So they might be trying to move the music, but Robert is not selling his music. That's first and foremost. He has his lawyers dealing with these individuals legally, so he's on top of that. But in terms of ownership of his music, let's start at the end and then work our way back with Barry Hankerson.
Okay.
He just put out Aaliyah's music without the authorization or the consent or the blessing of her estate, which is her mother and her brother, which says they have zero ownership in Aaliyah's music. That tells you who this man is. Barry Hankerson, the owner of Black Ground Records, Aaliyah's uncle, Diane's brother, Rashad's uncle, had either Diane, well, more than likely Diane, because Aaliyah, I think, was underage at the time that she signed to Black Ground, sign a contract that gave him 100% ownership of Aaliyah. Now, that means you cheated your sister, you cheated your niece, who is deceased, who you're crying all over the TV about, my poor niece, my poor this. How can a man, Barry Hankerson, owner of Blackground Records, which would be the label, own 100% of Aaliyah's music unless the mother, Diane, and or Aaliyah signed a contract without knowing they were signing over the rights to him? It can't be anything other than that. And that he says in his own words, he has not spoken to his sister since Aaliyah's death. That tells you something transpired, not only with, whatever happened in the Bahamas with the hiring of the plane and whatever went on with that, but also with the ownership of her music. And the family, the estate, Diane and Rashad, put out statements saying, we do not agree with the music being released. We had no say in it. We are opposed to it. They are letting the public know in no uncertain terms Barry Hankerson has stolen legally. If you have somebody sign a contract and they don't know what they're signing, that's fraud. But they've gone through the litigation, and if you don't read what a person says, then you're still liable. But I'm sure Diane and Aaliyah trusted their family. This is my uncle, this is my brother. If he tells me this is what's in this 15, 20-page contract, I believe him, and you sign, and now you've signed all of your rights away. That it would explain not only why they haven't spoken all this time, but why the estate, which is Aaliyah's mother and her brother, not only didn't want it out, they're speaking up and saying we're opposed to it. So now let's take it back to he meets this young man, Robert Kelly.
Hold on.
Who at the time...
Before you go there, I just want to ask you, because somebody asked that, why do you think that Aaliyah's brother and mother was against Aaliyah's music coming out?
Because of the ownership part of it.
Right, so they wouldn't own it. Okay.
If someone has stolen your rights, I think it was tied up in litigation. And I think they tried to fight the contract. He was in litigation with Timbaland, with Missy Elliott, with Tony Braxton, Tank, damn near everybody he's been assigned to. And his own sister and Aaliyah's estate. So I don't know that they were opposed to it. They were opposed to the contract that he had them sign, I believe. And so essentially they're telling the public without saying it, this man cheated Aaliyah out of everything that she owned and treated her mother and her brother. That is her next of kin in the eyes of the law. At the time Aaliyah passed, your next of kin is your mother, your father, your sibling. So her father passed away, that leaves her mother and her brother. They should have the lion's share of ownership. You would think that my brother starts a label, my brother and I, we love each other, we're cool, my child is a up-and-coming star, I sign them to the label. I would think that at the very least, we have a 50-50 partnership, at the very least. And to learn they have zero, they said we have zero say. That means we have zero ownership. Listen to what the family is telling you.
Right.
The estate has put out many statements. They're telling you this man has stolen everything of Aaliyah's.
Okay.
So now you get to Robert, allegedly. Let me throw that in so he can come after my ass. You go with Robert, who is young and dropped out of school, and, he's a young prodigy himself. he takes him to New York, and it's time for a contract. Well, whoever is sitting at the table with Jive Records, Wayne Williams, and I think he was the A&R guy, you have the people from Jive, and Jive's legal team has put the contract together, but Barry is there representing Robert. And this is what Demetrius told me and everyone in the camp, that Barry went with Robert to New York alone. So that means if Robert didn't have the ability to read the contract and understand the contract, he relied on Barry to tell him what was in the contract.
Right.
And, you know, someone like Barry can make a phone call to the lawyer and say, put this clause in, take this clause out, because he's acting for Rob. He's speaking for Rob. So he can have them put any clause in that contract or remove any clause or negotiate the percentages on behalf of Robert and then tell Robert this is what it is, and Robert doesn't know the difference. Here, sign the contract. So we see Robert having done it in the beginning of his career, and Aaliyah and her mother doing it at the point that Aaliyah's career, goes to Blackground Records. So in terms of who owns Robert's music, there's no question that Sony owns the lion's share. When you sign with a record label, the contract is generally for 7 years, and then you come up for negotiation. But there's always that fine print where the masters or any music made while you are under this contract belongs to the company, which would have been Jive or Sony at that time. So they generally will own the music for your lifetime and probably 30 years after death. It depends. Every contract is different. But Sony is one of the big heavy hitters out here, and they have strong ironclad contracts because they have teams of lawyers that work on those things. So I would guess if nobody knows because nobody's seen the contract, Robert probably doesn't even know with absolute certainty. His intellectual property attorney would have all the details. So what they generally will give is the artist points on certain music. So when it's your first album, you're going to have the worst deal, but you make money on the touring. So all touring money is the artist. Album money generally goes to the record label, and the artist gets some of that. So let's say they give you an advance of $250,000. Well, as the album starts to sell, you've got to pay that money back. That's what an advance is. It's a loan. They're not giving you the money. It's just, we're going to give you this up front because we know the album is going to do well. Now, if he has a point or 2 points or 7 points, I don't see them doing anything above a 5 or a 6 on a first-time artist because they don't know if you're going to break or not. So oftentimes, you might have 1, 2, 3 points max. It's the second album where you can negotiate better because you'll have a 7-year track record. So by the time Rob goes into that second contract, I'm not sure if Barry was still on deck, but I know Daryl McDavid was. So you've got to realize Barry was the one bringing people in. He hired Daryl, he hired the lawyers, he brought in, or at least oversaw all the people around Rob. So Rob's touring, he's bringing in millions per show, and he's been doing that since the beginning of his career. Robert has never had a dry spell. He's never had a downturn in his career. So he's made $10 million, $25 million a year out the gate. The money's just pouring in, pouring in. You can't even count it. It's so plentiful. But something happened where Robert fired Barry. Now, Robert said that at the point that he fired Barry and the tape was released, that Barry, Sparkle, and a couple of other people teamed up and did that together. That came from Robert's mouth. And it was immediately following. He said he was at the basketball gym Hoops in Chicago. Now, keep in mind, there were several sets of tapes because this is confusing. You had Lisa Van Allen, who stole a tape or two while she was at the studio. You had Carrie, who found a tape or two at a house that Rob had rented, and Carrie was selling those back to Rob or whatever he and Demetrius worked out with that. One of those, I believe, Demetrius told me Drea was on. Lisa Van Allen claims the one she stole. She was looking for the one with her. We're still fuzzy as to what that was. She lies so much you can't believe anything that comes out of her mouth. But the lion's share, the big nest of tapes was Rob always played basketball at this place called Hoops in Chicago. And, Michael Jordan and all the Chicago athletes would all ball there. So everybody that knows Rob knows he's there Tuesday, Thursday, without fail. So he has them in the locker. He said a gym bag full of tapes. Why he was carrying around with him, I don't know. But he had a bunch of tapes in his gym bag. There was a diamond watch and a bunch of money. Now, Rob had a tendency to keep $100,000 cash at all times on him. And sometimes he's giving it out and passing it to people. So, they would give him $50,000 or $100,000 cash, and he would have it and just, do whatever he needed to do. Go get food, give this person money.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, so I would say he probably had $50,000 cash, the diamond watch, and then the bag full of tape. Now, in order for you to have broken into his locker, that's why it had to be an inside job. You have to know that he's at Hoops, which anybody that balls there knows. You have to know where he put his stuff, what locker was his. And then you had to have bolt cutters to cut the lock off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he didn't just have the shit sitting there.
Wow.
It was in the locker. So Demetrius has said this guy, General, is the one that got the tapes. He's tied to, all of them formed some type of a ring. They somehow got the tapes to Barry, and Barry got them to, who's the fat guy that's the newspaper? Regattas, Jim D. Regattas. So Jim D. Regattas, if you look at the timeline, he gets the tape. 2 days later, he's interviewing Sparkle. See, these people tell on themselves. If you got an anonymous tape, which he said, you shouldn't know anybody in that tape. It might look similar to R. Kelly, but you can neither confirm nor deny. How do you know that's an underage girl? You can't tell somebody's age by looking at them. Stephanie Mills at 20 looked 14. Jada Pinkett at 20 looked 14. You have petite women. Little Kim is tiny. At 20 or 19, she looked 14. So you can't say, I looked at a tape, she looked underage, I sent the tape to the police. Someone told him, this is who we think this is, send this to the police.
Exactly.
2 days later, he ends up interviewing Sparkle. Nobody had on a name tag in the tape. So how did you connect this person to Sparkle? And Jim D. Regattas is not in the camp, and he doesn't know anybody in the camp. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Use your common sense.
Complete
So
setup.
that's why it was an inside job. Someone on the inside got the tapes because you had to know the day Rob was going to be at Hoops, because you got to have your bolt cutter with you. And you're not just rolling up in there with bolt cutters visible. You probably had them in a gym bag. So it had to be a male to go into the male locker room. And you had to know, somebody had to tell you Rob's stuff is here. You wasn't just cutting all the locks. It's 50 locks up in there. So it was done because both of them had a vendetta and had an axe to grind.
Now, let me ask you this, because I've been told this so many times. When that whole little situation between R. Kelly and Aaliyah was going down, um, Barry pretty much, from what I was told, I don't know if this is true or not, I'm just bringing it up, that Barry pretty much, had Rob in a vulnerable situation when everything was exposed that they were involved, R. Kelly and Aaliyah. So basically, Barry worked it out with R. Kelly for certain songs that Rob had for him to get paid off of. Songs like, um, I guess pretty much like from I forgot from the first or the second album, from like Living in the '90s or from 12 Play, man, because I don't know if it was I Believe I Can Fly. I don't even know if that I don't know, I'm mixed up with the times, but it was just certain hits that Rob had that Barry was supposed to get a percentage of, and also the whole album, the whole Age Ain't Nothing But a Number album, he owns that, and some of Rob's music as well, Barry owns that. Is he making any money off of the money that's being generated off of R. Kelly's music?
Nobody will know that because that is something. Let's talk about that legally. And the reason I do not speculate or gossip or give unvetted opinions when it comes to Aaliyah or Rashona is because these people were allegedly underage. And so you're talking about something that legally you got to be careful of. So
Right.
I speak very lawfully when it comes to those. Now, Lisa Van Allen, I'll talk about her all day long. But when it comes to Aaliyah and Rashona, I follow the law very clearly because you don't want to put things into the atmosphere that you cannot verify and you have no proof of. First and foremost, what we know is Aaliyah loved Robert, Robert loved Aaliyah. That's obvious. What we also know is they've had a very close relationship, and he was close with the family. What we cannot confirm is that they were ever sexual. Only two people know that, Aaliyah and Robert, and neither one of them has ever spoken on it. So she's no longer here. We cannot speculate. There is supposed to be an alleged marriage license. It has neither been confirmed nor denied. The person that got on the stand in New York merely talked about the process of getting a marriage license. Now, you can marry somebody without having had sex. So if there is a marriage license and it has not been confirmed that that's 100% accurate, because the person that did the license was not there. It was just somebody that worked in a marriage office. But if a marriage happened, that is not proof that they had sex. They said she was supposed to have been pregnant.
Right.
Well, we know there was no pregnancy. So there's a lot of rumor and gossip and all of these things. What I do know for sure, and this I've heard from everybody, Aaliyah loved Robert. what I've heard from everybody, Robert loved Aaliyah. They seem to have had a very close friendship, a very loving bond between them, and there is no proof, no evidence that will hold up in a court of law that they ever had sex, and there's no verification that she was ever pregnant with anyone from Robert, and it has not been substantiated that the marriage did in fact take place or that it was authenticated.
Right.
Someone said they conducted a marriage, but we don't know, we haven't gotten to cross-examination yet. So I don't want to speak on that because that's coming up. So in terms of whatever that family worked out with Robert based on whatever they feel transpired, that it's been, that one thing they've been good at is not talking and not putting their business out there. So we don't know what the terms and conditions were, or if there were terms and conditions. We don't know. There's supposed to have been some annulment and some contractual arrangement between the parents. I've never seen it. So I can't speak on things that I have no verification for. And I don't sit up speculating and gossiping about someone's sex life from 30 years ago. I don't care.
Right.
I don't really care what transpired between them. All I care is that the law is followed.
Yeah, my thing was, of course, I brought up them because that's pretty much the connection, Barry and,
Right,
his niece and everything like that. But no, I don't want to really speak on anything pertaining to R. Kelly and Aaliyah. My thing was to find out, was Barry making any money, off of R. Kelly's music,
Well, we don't know what was in those contracts.
Okay.
And until we see contracts, I have some documents that I've given, someone gave them to me, and I've turned them over to the lawyers. But Robert's lawyers have been going through all of his things with a fine-tooth comb, and that began in 2016 during the buffet tour. Because, as I said in videos that I've done, the bank manager of SunTrust Bank said fraudulent activity was occurring on Robert's bank account, and he needed to speak with Mr. Kelly face to face. He was not going to do any more business until he spoke to Robert personally, because he felt there was a lot of impropriety to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. The lawyer then superseded that and gave the bank some legal document that made them unfreeze the account and continue to do business. Robert, at the halfway mark of the buffet tour, he began running out of money. So people weren't getting paid, and they had the money. So they were in litigation with the people that, Swervo is the company that backed that tour. They gave them $500,000 up front. That should have been money to carry the tour. But about a third of the way into the tour, no monies. So the monies were taken, according to the lawsuit, and spent to pay Robert's bills. Now, what people don't understand is Robert is the artist. Robert was an employee of Sony. He was not the CEO mastermind running a corporation. Sony told him what to do on the end of music, and when it came to touring, his manager handled that. So the manager at the time was Daryl McDavid, Linda Minch was his lawyer, and Joan Sullivan was the accountant. Where's Robert's money? Robert has generated close to $1 billion, and yet he didn't have money to bail himself out. Where's his money? They're giving him an allowance of $50,000 or $100,000. Whatever he asked for, they get it. You want a Rolls Royce here. You want this here. They'll get him things, but they are handling the finances. And they bring checks to him to sign, but he has stacks and stacks of checks. Robert can't possibly know this vendor, this person over here doing lighting, this person. He's creating the music. He's out front.
Right.
So when they're giving him checks, he might say, who am I paying this check to? Oh, that's for this. And he signs it. Oh, well, what's this for? And they got their stories made up. I remember Rob being at the kitchen counter signing checks, and I was looking at the checks. I really couldn't see them, but I was just looking in that direction. And Daryl McDavid was giving me a look like, I hope she doesn't see what I have in front of him. And from that moment, I got a very eerie feeling from him. And just one of those sneaky suspicions that he was stealing Rob's money. And lo and behold, he has a multi-million-dollar Mexican restaurant in downtown Chicago, a 30-unit condominium in the north side of Chicago. He drives a Bentley. He has a tour bus more luxurious than Rob's. And yet the artist that he represents is broke. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense at all. Not at all. Let me ask you. Well, I don't know. I don't know the legal situation going on with him, but I know at one time, everybody was pretty much promoting, saying that Don Russell, he's a spokesperson, he's the manager, he's on Rob's side. Now with the current situation that's going on and certain things that I've heard from you, from your content posted on your channel, was Don Russell basically, against Rob the whole time? Was he, did he have his own plot going on, his own strategy going on the whole time? To come up on Rob? Was he really a friend, or was basically he a con man, the whole time using Rob along with his mother?
Well, again, let's just look at the facts. He met him July of 2018. Immediately, what we have on the books, an alleged threat to Faith Rogers with a notary from an expired notary, his mother, that he's indicted on. We have a threat to the theater where Surviving R. Kelly was being shown, where he allegedly called Star 67 from a phone that was traced back to the kitchen in his mother's apartment where they're running Indie Build that he's being indicted on. We have threats that he made to Tim Savage, and all of these are in federal indictments against him. He made threats to Tim Savage with a police officer standing present, and because Tim had him on speakerphone. All of this is within his first 7 months in the building. Then when Rob gets out, he's there. They go to the cigar bar. Everybody goes in through the back because everybody with Rob knows avoid press. They go upstairs. Don approaches the media and starts talking. And they ask him, are you the manager? And he, I'm a friend, I'm an advisor, I'm a whatever he said. So he positioned himself to, Rob didn't ask him to do that. Rob was angry that he did that. And Rob stopped fucking with him as a result of that. Did not speak to him, was not fucking with him. Nobody in the camp was. Per Robert, I asked his mother, when is the last time you and Don spoke to Robert? She said February of 2019. That is when Don stood in front of the press and pretended to be his manager. So that means they only were in Robert's life July of 2018 to February of 2019. During that amount of time, how many indictments did he rack up? Is that a friend, or is that somebody that has another agenda? Now, knowing that Rob ain't fucking with him, knowing nobody in the camp is fucking with him. He's telling me a completely different story. I reached out to Don because once Rob got in, I no longer had anybody to talk to. I didn't have anybody's numbers or contact information. I saw him on TV as the manager. So I'm like, oh, let me call the manager. Shit, you know? So I reached out to him through Facebook. And we began talking. He put me in touch with his mother, and we talked on a regular basis. I truly thought that he was for Rob. I thought that he and his mom had Rob's best interest. Then he was doing all of the, which I encouraged him to do, get out there and do some YouTube videos and defend Rob. But then he started showing personal items of Rob, awards and pictures of the babies and all this stuff. And
I remember, not to cut you off, Sharon, but I remember he was on Nick at Night, little dark skinned, little pretty thing. If she listened, you know what I mean, shout out to you. But no, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got a campaign, you know, but yeah, she sat up there and had Don up there, and Don was talking about how he had music, unreleased music, how he doing this and how he doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so maybe he might be, you know, a manager. Now, I do got to keep it real. You know, I always keep it all the way 100. I don't fuck with dude. I always thought he looked like that thing from dinosaurs back in the day. Not the mama, not the mama. So that's why I never really like fucked with Dana J, because I just got a weird vibe from him. But I do gotta keep it 100. Dana J was the one from the beginning to the 9th inning saying, do not fuck with Don Russell. He was saying that Don Russell was a crook. But of course, I wasn't paying. I was like, man, what this square ass nigga knowing? You know, man, this nigga face look demonic, man. I ain't listening to this nigga. He don't know what the hell he talking about. He talking about he was around Rob. What Rob had this nigga around for? But come to find out, what he was saying was accurate. You know, so for all you little Dana J followers and things like that, you can go back and say, hey, the pimpin' said that you was right. Go back and tell his ugly ass, you know what I mean? The sin said he was right. He was 100 on that. I've just got to keep it real. I did think he was cool.
Well,
Go ahead. Let me go back.
Yeah, but Don, I thought he was, you know, when you listen to him, he has a good talk. He has a great game, and he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. But, you know, he had moved out to California. He was managing Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And he kept wanting to meet up with me. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm cool.
Hold on, not to cut you off. I don't blame him, because even though we doing this interview, y'all do know that Sharron is pretty as hell. So Don, if you ever hear this, I'm not mad at you on that. I am mad at you about this other shit. But if you were trying to, you know what I mean, drive up on Sharron with her pretty ass and try to get her some Roscoe's chicken, I'm not mad at you, player. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Roscoe's chicken. So then one day he called me and he said he had been telling me that he was going to have meetings and talk to Rob about getting his music and releasing it overseas. And I truly never thought that was going to go anywhere, so I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. And then one day he called me and he said that he just got 3 truckloads of Rob stuff out of the warehouse, and 2 of the truckloads were in his mother's basement, and he was driving the masters out to California. Well, I was in shock, like, what the fuck? And it didn't make sense, because I know that's not how you move music. So it sounded, it was off, completely off. And he kept saying, Rob knows about it. I got the stuff. And I'm just thinking, this does not make sense. Number one, he has no industry background. If you Google his name, nothing comes up. indie build was some fictitious company he made up that he ran out of his mother's kitchen. And it was in the process of him starting. So he was putting the website together as he was working at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. So he didn't have a legitimate company. He had no legitimate background. And he had no experience to even manage or even halfway manage an artist of R. Kelly's caliber. So, long story short, the lawyers told me that he had that without Rob's verbal or written consent. And, you know, I heard recently that they are handling Don legally, his lawyers. So they're dealing with him.
Now, I do got to ask you this because you was in the house. So by you being in the house, you have the best observation. How would you define the marriage between R. Kelly and Drea? Like
Troubled.
from your observation being in the house, like what type of marriage was that? I know you can see other marriages, and you know you've been here. Even though you are a young woman, you've been here, so you know what love is, and you know what a successful marriage is, and you know when two people genuinely, sincerely, possess the love that they profess to have for one another. And I just want to ask, did you see authentic love, between those two? Like, did you see like a real, actual, marriage?
Well, and let's go here.
Go ahead.
In order for you to genuinely and authentically love somebody, you have to have had an example of what that looks like. And neither of them had that. Rob came from a broken situation. Drea came from a broken situation. I believe they were friends. I believe they cared about each other. I believe they both were doing the best they knew how to do, which is most people when they get married. The majority of people don't know how to love each other. That's why you have such a high divorce rate and such a high disappointment rate in relationships. A lot of people stay together just for finances. So I think people marry way too early in life because you don't know yourself. So you go into something with expectations that neither one of them had a definition of what a marriage was. They were just kind of winging it. And you could tell that. But I think they both liked each other and were fond of each other.
Okay.
And if you ask them, they would say that it was love. But observing that's not my definition of love.
Okay, so how would you define, the character of Drea? Of course I have my opinion.
I've actually liked Drea. I've never had anything against her. I felt that she did the best she could for Robert, but she came in, Rob just had a very low expectation bar. So she's a very good dancer. And in terms of being a wife, I think she failed him miserably. Most people think as a female, all I have to do is sex him. Because a man that has Robert's means, he has a housekeeper, he has someone to do the food, he has someone to fix the cars and do the lawn, and he can hire somebody to do everything, even a nanny. So what does he need a wife for? Ideally, a wife should be a partner on every level, but coming from their background, I think it was just sexual, sexual gymnastics. Drea prided herself on her ability to move her body and do all of these things, and all that's great, but what happens when you're not having sex? Then what? This man needs somebody managing his money. He needs someone overseeing his business. He needs someone to make sure that the lawyer isn't stealing, the manager's not stealing. You know, you need a brain with a body. And most women come to the table with just body.
Right.
And then they want to blame the man when it fails. If you're not there meeting that man's needs, not just his sexual needs, but his spiritual needs, his emotional needs. Robert had other needs, and this was my gripe with Drea. You knew that he wasn't proficient in reading and writing. That was your number one job, to get him up to speed. You knew if he couldn't read and write, how on earth is he signing contracts? Your wife is supposed to cover you. You know what I'm saying? Your wife is supposed to have your back.
Amen.
That's supposed to be, you know, Batman Robin.
Amen.
Like, damn, if you ain't got me, who got me?
Right.
So he got people stealing from him, and his wife is up there, you know, throwing her leg behind her head. Like, what the fuck? It's ridiculous. And I think Drea really did want the best, but she just didn't have anything to work with. She had no skill set, and she didn't work on anything. She had plenty of time.
Right.
She didn't go to school. She didn't read books. She didn't do... If he told you, go to the room while I'm having these meetings, you got books on tape. Get a library card. Get a bunch of books. She should have been reading how to be successful in the music industry, how to negotiate better contracts, how to shore up your man's weaknesses. And then when he comes home after a month of touring, babe, let's sit down. I've been reading these books. You think he wouldn't have welcomed that?
Right.
Let's talk about this, and this, how we can help make sure that your contracts are getting you the most money. Now he would have invited her into some of those places.
If she would have came with game, yeah.
There you go, yeah. So if all you're bringing is, let me freak you, and me and my friend will do a menage a trois, then that you'll be relegated to that position. And any female that doesn't have any skills can do that. So, and that was the problem with the latest crew. They're all coming with the sex game, but they're not bringing anything else to the table. And what irritates me is they have the nerve to talk about what he didn't do for them. What in the world did they do for him?
Not a damn thing.
What did Azriel do for Robert?
Not a damn thing.
What did Joycelyn do for Robert? What did Dominique do for Robert? What did Holly do for Robert? Any of them. What did Sparkle do for Robert?
Not a damn thing.
All of them walked away with, this is what he didn't do for me, and this is how he treated me. What about how you treated him? What about your neglect of him? What about every time he sees you, you got your hand out wanting something? You know what I'm saying? Instead of bringing something to the table, they were there taking and looking for what they could get, how their families could come up. As we are trying to get jobs for everybody in our damn family. My mother can drive your bus. Your mother doesn't have skill set to do anything other than that? So everybody was looking to come up on him. Nobody brought anything of value to the table.
Everybody was able to make him come, but they wasn't able to make him come up. It was just
There
basically a good time. Yeah. It's sad, but as I listen, it just seems like, he had people around him that were selfish.
Precisely.
From what I hear, I'm not really hearing that he had an actual, authentic, woman that he was in a true relationship with that really loved Robert for Robert. They was with R. Kelly, the image, but not really with Robert the man. So I totally, from his perspective, I totally understand why things ended up the way that it, and plus he didn't have anybody, because this is just from my observation. Demetrius, by him coming from Chicago, I'm from Chicago, Demetrius was supposed to look out for Rob. He knew
Yeah.
certain weaknesses that Rob had. He knew that Rob grew up without a father. He knew that Rob really didn't have no OG. This is a young man that got taken advantage of. This is a young man that's very gifted, has a beautiful
Right.
ministry, but at the same time didn't have no father. And it's just so much game and so much information that's missing. You can't conform to something that you're not informed about. You don't have a reference point. What manhood is, what a man is, and how a man should conduct himself in these situations. And
Right.
instead of Demetrius coming in, and dropping game on them and kind of like being a stepfather or a real OG, to him, he basically got into his personal feelings, with Rob because he thought that he should have been taken care of when certain, because his exact words was, Barry took him away from me, and
Right. Yeah.
I understand his mentality, towards, Barry took him away. But in all honesty, if you was on your A game, if you was on your Chi-Town A game and really put, Barry wouldn't have been able to take you away from him. Because I already know what Barry was thinking. Barry was thinking that here we have this young man that's marketable
Mm-hmm.
and also have a
Yeah.
talent that's equivalent to a Marvin Gaye, a Stevie Wonder, and he
Right.
cannot read. Cha-ching, you know what I mean? Cha-ching. That
Right.
means that I could charm and disarm this boy out of some money and he wouldn't even know it. He come out of poverty.
Right.
He come from the west side. He ain't never had shit. So, to a motherfucker that ain't never had nothing, you get him 50,000, 100,000, 250, these allowances that you're talking about, man, that's cool. But this
Yeah.
go to show it's just like what Dr. Dre was saying in one interview. He was only concerned about the music. He wasn't concerned about the business. And that's why
Right.
he didn't start really having money until after Death Row. So I totally understand. I hope Rob get everything that he's supposed to have. Now, with the you know what? I'm not even gonna ask that because I know you just got through doing an interview over there, and I didn't want to ruffle no feathers, but I know that in my opinion that Rob doesn't have a fair trial. Everything is not fair, on Rob's behalf because by certain information being conveyed to Tasha K, and by Tasha K conveying that information to whoever she decided to convey that information to during certain time periods, I just think that Ezreal was able to be manipulated. Certain things happened that wasn't supposed to happen because information was in the wrong hands.
No, 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 no,
Go ahead.
no. We can't even. She can't skate off like that.
Go ahead.
Loyalty is not situational. Either you're loyal or you're not. Period. You can get pissed at a man leave and not flip. You see what I'm saying? So
I see what
whatever she found
Go
out,
ahead.
whatever she learned, whatever you know, and did they work her over? Absolutely. But if it's not in you, nobody can flip you.
I say
They
this
can
shit.
only flip you if it's already in you to be.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
snitch.
I'm not. No. We not making no justifiable excuses for snitching whatsoever. Now, but what
Yeah.
I will say on the other side of things, this is a young, impressionable girl. She got game.
Don't
And
matter.
hold on. Let me just say
Don't
this.
matter.
Hold on. Let
She
me just.
came off of 5 years with this man.
Sharon.
I'm pissed that you loved her more than me. You did this more. That does not warrant you going to the fucking feds on this man.
Oh no, we ain't
The
making no
punishment don't
justification for
fit the
going to the
goddamn
feds.
crime. Knowing she lied about her age coming in the door. That's what makes it fucking worse. This bitch targeted him. went to his concert. The mama and the daddy took her to the concert. You had to be 18 to get the ticket, grown to be at the concert. She stood on the damn speaker, showed the man her ass. The mama texted him, how old are you? I'm 18. The daughter texted him, how old are you? I'm 18. The police come. She lies to the police. She came in on a fucking lie. And she got the nerve to sit here and say, he lied to me? Bitch, you came in on a fucking lie. Azriel can kiss my motherfucking ass, and so can her goddamn mama and daddy. The bitch is a whole ass federal informant. I ain't got nothing to say about that hoe. Oh, did I? I'm sorry. You got me a little ruffled with that one.
No, it's just the liberty that's at the platform. I'm glad that you did do that and felt comfortable to do that. No, I totally agree with you. Like I said, once again, we make no justifiable excuses for snitching, especially on this platform. But one thing
She
I
came
will
in on
go
a
ahead.
lie. How the fuck you gonna get an attitude with me about me telling you a lie when you, your mama, and your daddy set me up walking in the fucking door? What bigger lie is that? The police came to the hotel door at the Dolphin Hotel, knocked on the door. Your mother and father are looking for you. How old are you? I'm 18. Then you tell me when you got to go back to school, oops, I'm 17. She's the reason he has these goddamn charges. Her mother and father went to the feds long before surviving R. Kelly. So
Right.
it didn't have anything to do with, oh, they flipped her, she was young. She was a stank-ass betraying hoe when he met her, and that's who she proved herself to be at the end of that ride. And nobody, can't nobody, an apple is an apple. I don't care how you slice it. You slice it 500 times, it's still going to be an apple.
Right.
She's a disloyal, snitch-ass federal informant that came in to set this man up, lied about her age, threw ass at him. That's called entrapment. It's called coercion. They need to be brought up on charges. And then she gonna get up there and call this man in prison like she's sitting in the fucking seat of righteousness? She's a dirty, rotten bitch. And I hope she hears this. Because that's what I think of that stank asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. Dig that though. Okay. Well, this is all I was saying though, Sharon. She is a punk bitch. She's a snitch bitch. She's a federal bitch. She's a dookie eating bitch. Everything that you
Right.
said,
We
right.
forgot that one, yeah.
Right. She's a dookie eating bitch. You know what I mean? She's a dog stealing bitch. She's all of these things, right?
A dog stealing
You know what I'm
bitch.
saying?
Right, she so believe.
Right. You know what I mean? You can say no talent, all of that. All I'm saying is that behind closed doors, she was already a punk bitch. But behind closed doors, I think what was inside of her was intensified once basically Angelo showed her what Tasha K had given. That's my opinion. I'm not denying that she's a punk ass bitch. We call punk ass bitches all the time over here. We not making no justification for a bitch that gave incriminating information on nobody. But what I will say is, whatever was inside of her, that snitch shit, that, turncoat shit, it got intensified once that information was conveyed. Because Tasha sat up there
I don't think that was sufficient enough. She was already licking the girl's pussy. God damn.
I feel,
what the fuck?
Shit,
Is this a shock? They going down on each other. You taking dick in every hole. Oh, he called her whatever the fuck he called her. Bitch, you done ate her pussy. What's the problem? Like, seriously? Come on. Oh, that was her breaking point. Licking her syphilis-infested cooch should have been the goddamn breaking point.
Go ahead, Sharon. You got the sword. Whenever you come like this, Hey, whenever you come like that, I'm stepping back and letting you sit up there because see, in them other interviews, no disrespect, you were just all, eloquent and the professionalism and all that. But see, in this interview, you got to kick down the door, you know what I mean? Because you're being interviewed, you know what I mean, by the pivot. So it's ghetto. You felt the liberty to be yourself. And you know she's a punk bitch. We agree to that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that, and I hope, I've been telling y'all, could y'all please go to Angelo Page on Instagram and let him know that Sinful to P said, take that video down of Sinful to P on your page. He does not fuck with you, dude. But yeah, you know what I mean? As far as with the bride, yeah, man, I just think that, whatever Angelo had from Tasha, I just think that intensified the shit. I really think that he was sitting up there telling the bitch, like, look, that sink is getting ready to ship any minute now. That's a sinking ship. Get off that and create your own platform and do your own thing. Ain't no sense of putting on this Oscar Award performance like you about to stay down with Rob and you on some Bonnie and Clyde shit with him. You need to sit up there and jump ship, start your own shit, and sit up there and start your own career. That's what I think that
and
he kicked in
my
her head.
problem was never that she left. I don't have a stay or go. I don't give a fuck. You tired of eating pussy? I get it. But you don't have to call the feds and dime him out. You don't have to tell them about a warehouse and they seize 100 devices. You don't have to call them when Richard Arline contacts you. You piss the fuck off because after eating her pussy for 5 years, you find out he liked Joy. Then you're dumb as fuck, okay? Then you decide on top of that, I'm going to not only call the feds, I'm going to give them extra. She went above and beyond, then called him on the phone, recorded it for the documentary that she was supposed to be the star of, to get him sobbing and crying. You may never get out of jail. She's an evil, pussy-sucking bitch. There's nothing you can say to me about that hoe.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's raw and uncut. You know what I mean? Yeah. So listen, this is what I will do because I know you got things to do, but I wanted to give them the opportunity to talk to you. If we can do that, Sharon. Could I have them call in, and give them the chance to talk to you? Because I know they got questions and things, and you didn't let me have your time. Time just seemed to fly. It just seemed like it was just a half an hour. We've been talking damn near for 2 hours now. So let me just, if I could, let me slide this up in here and let you guys get the opportunity to call. Matter of fact, mods, put my 702 number, up in that chat right quick. Hold on, let me do this right quick. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Hulk, I'm mad at you, man. I fuck with Sharon and Sharon cold with it. But when you said Sharon make me want to say the black woman is God, man, I was looking at you crazy, man. Sharon fine. She pretty as hell and she's very intelligent, man. But I think you digging on her a little bit too much, man. You ready to join the Brother Polite and Young Pharaoh movement, man. You ready to make the black woman God, man. You made me shake my pimping ass head at you when you said that. I ain't mad at you though, man. He said, man, Sharon make me want to say the black woman is God. I said, look at all of this simp praise worship, this praise and worship service going on in my motherfucking comment section. And my mind's just letting it go down. Hold on. All right, y'all see that 702 number? It is now pinned in the comment section. I don't know why I got to tell y'all to hit the like button. I don't know what the like button did to you. You know what I mean? If you're a woman, the like button didn't take your man. If you're a man, you know what I mean? The like button didn't knock you for the bitch, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Y'all got something against that like button. It should be, if it's 828 people listening, it should be 828 likes. Why my likes It's 670. You know, get my likes up, man. You know, y'all make me think that the like button called you and knocked you for your bottom bitch or something, man. Come on. Okay, 702-800-9473. We waiting on you to call in, man. Whatever question that you got right now for sharing, this would be the time to call in. Now, if you're a goofy, you're a certified elite Harvard University goofy, I'm gonna cut you off and cancel you and won't even give you the chance to be great. But if you come in, you know what I mean, your questions is on point, you know what I mean, you're not coming on there, you know, just talking crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're going to slide through. So once again, 702-800-9473. Call in. Okay, cool. Let me. Hello.
Hello, yes. May I speak? I have some questions for Miss Sharron, if it's possible.
Yeah, she's here right now. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Miss Sharron. First of all, first and foremost, I want to let you know, love, I've been following you from day one since you've been investigating this R. Kelly situation. Everything you have said is on point, facts, and they need to listen. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Stay focused and just keep getting in their asses as you're doing. And as far as Ezra Claire, you are so right. If she was down for him from day one, she should have been down for him when it was all said and done. You don't turn on nobody like that. That's what kids do. A grown woman would have been behind him 100%. So that's all I want to say. Keep Miss Sharron, keep doing what you're doing, sis. I love you. Oh, another thing.
What's your name? What's your name?
Oh, my name is Brenda, hon. My name is Brenda. I've been giving some comments on your page. I've been following you. And then for the Tasha K situation, she was on from day one. She's been against R. Kelly from day one. She's been putting all these lies out there. She's working with the Clarys from day one. And when she put all the information out there, and also at the with Sinful Pete, you were right. I feel like the same way too. When her dad told her that this money train about to run out, she needs to go do something else. I think I feel the same way she did. But she was also jealous of Joy. I know I'm all over the place, but anyway, because I've been following this. But anyway,
well, Joy, you know, in my opinion, Joy was always more prettier.
These witches been lying from day one. Honestly, no one forced you to stay there. You had a choice to come and go as you please, because you couldn't be that one. That's when all the problems started. And then last thing, that John Doe, if he don't get his ass somewhere and sit the F down, boy, ain't nobody playing with you. You's a liar, period. You's a liar.
Right.
Mr. Ricky LaFrance, carry your ass somewhere and sit down, period.
Right.
But Sharron, stay in their ass, honey. Stay in their ass.
Thank you, dear.
But stay in their asses. You the beast. You the goat with this. Thank you. Y'all take care. Love y'all. Bye.
We love you too, baby. You aggressive as hell. And you got a lot of twister up in you. You know what I mean? Tongue twisted. You was going fast, just freestyling with the shit. Tongue twisted. Hold on. Damn, I done hung up on both of them. Let me call her back. Hold on. Fine Beauty. Shout out to Fine Beauty. I see you. Hold on. Yeah, I always thought that though. While I'm sitting over there waiting for Sharron to pick up, I always thought that Joy was finer than Ezreal. I thought going fast, just freestyling with. I thought Ezreal was a little sharper, but I always thought Jocelyn was more prettier. Yeah, Brownstone, I'm still on, baby. I'm still on. Yeah, Joy and her sister. Her sister, too. I forgot her name. She got a sister that be on YouTube and shit. Yeah, she fine as hell, too.
This is Sharron. Leave a message.
Untwisted. Oh, damn, I sat up there and hung up. Wow, KD, man, shout out to KD, man. Appreciate that. I think you was over there when I was doing that roasting and shit, man. You was real supportive. I appreciate you, famo. Israel too cocky. Cocaine. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. I accidentally hung up, you know what I mean, when I let the girl go. My bad. Hold on. I got somebody else calling in. Okay, hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. But I got you tied up on that other end. Hold on.
Oh,
There we go. Hold on. Once again, the number is 702-800-9473. Y'all know I got, some ghetto shit going on. I don't know how to do all that other shit like them YouTubers and shit. I gave you one of my personal phone numbers, for you to call me. Now, after I end this live, that don't mean for you niggas to be calling me talking about sin. I know you ended the live, but I just want to chop it up with you a bit. You know what I'm saying? I got this situation, right? Like, nah, that don't mean that. All right, hold on. Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
what's up, 7 foot P? Greetings. Greetings.
Hold on, player.
Can you hear me?
Hold on.
Oh,
Matter of fact, Sharon, hang up and call me right back.
okay.
All right. Hung up on both of them. Let me call her back. Hold on, let me do this right quick. And stop calling me while I'm on the phone. Wait till after a phone call and then call me. Ain't no sense of calling me while I'm on the phone. I'm not gonna answer for you. This ain't them other YouTubers shit. You know my shit ghetto. It's just like if I'm on a regular phone. Nigga, don't call me while I'm on the phone. Wait till after I finish this phone call with the caller. After that ends, then your motherfucking Boston baked bean head ass can call in. Y'all been watching my shit long enough to know the sinful shit is ghetto. When you watch my shit, do it look like I got a whole? Do it look like I'm O'Shea Duke Jackson? Do it look like my production team is from the heavens? Cause O'Shea shit is from the heavens. Shay got his shit together. I don't know if y'all been looking at that shit that O'Shea is over there doing. O'Shea got the motherfucking Timberland, Pharrell, Dr. Dre, Kanye, Just Blaze over there with him. Yeah, he on some other shit. Hold on, let me call her back. I'll call her back myself. Right, beep beep. You stupid. Talking about beep beep. Yeah, O'Shea on another planet with the graphics and everything. They got this nigga getting in the plane and shit. I said, damn. Okay, hello? Okay, I see Sharon then picked up the phone. Hold on, don't nobody call me. I'll just wait for Sharon to call me. I noticed when she called me, it sound different. So don't nobody call me. Just wait a minute till Sharon call back in, and then I'll allow everybody to call back in. Dude, stupid as hell, talking about some beep beep. Beep beep. Let me see. And yeah, I seen you little niggas coming in my comment section, man, telling me what that police officer said. I ain't even heard what he done said, but come on, man, I'm sinful to Pete, man. What you coming in my comment section talking about some, yeah, the guy that's cool with the police, he said, yeah, the guy that be snitching, he said, yeah, the guy, that's staying in, low basement Texas, he said, like, the fuck you come up in my comment section telling me what the police done said? Police officer Charleston White, he said, like, what the fuck? Nigga, Charleston White don't want them motherfucking problems with me, nigga. He been having a cool little roasting time with them other guys, but y'all all know that nigga is no match for me. Hello?
Okay, now I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, we good now. We good. All right, call back in, 702-800-9473. Coming in my comment section telling me what the police said. Telling me what one nigga
What'd
with
they
one
say?
eye said. Another YouTuber, they was coming in my comment section talking about some, yeah, he said this and he said, I'm like, come on, man, don't be telling me what the police said. You know, whatever the police said, that's what they said. Nigga, keep that shit over there. I'm over here talking about Rob, and we trying to find out what's going on, you know what I mean, with different bras that's test the line on Rob and shit. We ain't talking about no police officer on YouTube, nigga. Let me see. 702-800-9473. Mods, man, make sure you put that link to Sharron Winbush page. Make sure y'all go over there. Don't take my word for it. It's a lot of content on there that's killing, that's destroying the things that was said in Surviving Lies, aka also known as, you know, Surviving R. Kelly. Killing it. You want to go over there? Hold on. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on with it, man? Talk to us. Sharon
Yeah,
on the phone.
Hey, Sharron.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
good.
That's good. That's good. Hey, I just want to know because I grew up listening to R. Kelly and everything, but I was always curious on what type of impact did Ron. This off the subject. What type of impact did Ron Isley had on R. Kelly? Because it always seemed like of all the artists that he worked with, he always kind of paid homage to Ron Isley. You know, all of the music he did the most work with Ron Isley, and because he's kind of older, because he's way older than was Ron Isley like a father figure to him? And that's pretty much the question I had. And I get off the line, so I don't want to tie it up. That's all I want to know. Just what type of impact was that like his mentor? You know, did he?
I think his mother grew up with the Isley brothers, and the music was played around the house. I think he initially told Ronald Isley that his mother loved their music, the Isley brothers, and I think it was simply he had a good relationship with Ronald Isley. They got together to do one song, and everything is about your chemistry with somebody. You can meet somebody, and I don't care how much you like them. If the vibe ain't there, it ain't there. So I think he met Ronald Isley. They just vibed real well together. Rob loved what the Isley brothers were doing. The Isleys loved what Rob was doing. And it was just one of those moments in time where everything is aligned and it worked.
I got you. Yeah,
so I think the whole Mr. Biggs character was birthed out of just him sitting around kicking it with Ronald Isley. And I think initially he used that one song for Aaliyah's album, At Your Best You Are Loved. That was an Isley Brothers tune. Yeah.
Okay, because we know they had Download, then the remix of Download, then...
No, but before that, it was At Your Best You Are Loved, which was on Aaliyah's album. That preceded the Mr. Biggs. So he used an Isley Brothers song because I think that was one of his mom's favorite. And, they used it on Aaliyah's album. So that may have been his introduction to meeting Ronald Isley, because that was a song written and produced by the Isley Brothers.
So can you say that because do you think he got some of his little, like his swag, his little persona from Ron Isley with the hat, with the scarf, and with the trench coat and everything? Because Ron Isley, he kind of old school, and you look at R. Kelly, got a little old school persona mixed with modern day and what he was doing, during those
But
times.
if you think about it, that was on the south side of Chicago. That's how the guys dressed.
Thank you.
Well, that's how it was. That's how it was.
Yeah, you have stepper sets, and so you have all these clubs on the south side of Chicago where the dudes got their gaiters on and they got a matching suit and a hat. So that's just south side Chicago. And it's very much birthed out of the 70s with the Superfly and all the guys being that Dapper Dan type of dresser. So the Isley brothers come from that era, but I don't see where Rob just got that from Ronald Isley. I think that's just
Rob is
from the south side of Chicago.
Rob is from the west side which basically is
No,
an
he's from the
area.
South Side.
Yeah, but he was,
South Side.
but he used to be on that west side too, though. And what I mean by that is, Rob done been around some pimping. So by
Right.
Rob
Okay.
being
Yeah.
around players, max, pimps,
Yeah.
pastors, preachers, man, if you come from the city of Chicago, you ain't gotta see no damn Ron Isley, nigga. You got niggas dressed like Ron Isley since you a little boy. No, that's some Chicago shit. That ain't no damn Ron Isley, man.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
What?
Yeah, that's
All right.
just straight up Chicago.
Okay. I appreciate it, y'all.
Love you, man,
Okay,
but
thank
yeah,
you.
blessings to you.
All right, you too.
I thought that man was gonna sit up there and be like, and I noticed the way that R. Kelly prays. Did he get his praying style from? Hold on. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Simple? This is Terrell.
Go ahead, brother.
Thank you so much, guys, for what you bring to the table, Miss Sharon and Simple. Your interviewing skills are real good, brother. I got one quick question. Does Robert have any family besides his two brothers? Do he have like any aunties and uncles? Is he like the only one? I'm from Chicago, so I was always curious about that.
Yeah, he's got two brothers, Kerry and Bruce, and a sister, Teresa. And his mom had sisters and brothers. So he has some extended family. Kerry's got 17 kids. So that's 17 nieces and nephews. Bruce has kids. Robert has his children. So he does have family.
Okay, this seems like he's always by his, I know he got his entourage, but I got the impression that he was like a lone as far as family goes. So thank you for giving me
He
that.
has his family around. But like everybody else, he might have issues with certain family members here and there, so you may not see them around for a period of time. But I talk to a lot of his family members on a regular basis as a result of it. So I'm in touch with them, and I'm sure they write him. And a lot of times they're in the background. They're not out there jumping in front of the cameras and stuff like that. But they're there, and they've toured with him. They work for him. A lot of his family has been a part of his entourage. Because they are laid back, you wouldn't know it. Blackie was his cousin. His couple of his uncles are, they're around him everywhere.
Okay, thank you so much for your hard work and going against the grain, because the feds out to get him for some reason. And keep up the good work, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Good looking. He called in with a good call. Man, so far y'all doing good. I like this. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Simple? How you doing, Miss Sharon? Hey, I just want to say before I ask my question, Simple, you probably one of the best interviewers, man. I got to get that out there. You feel me? For a shit talking ass nigga, you let her speak and you real gentleman about it. But let me go ahead and ask my question though. Miss Sharon, on behalf of all the real men out here, I do want to, say thank you. You know what I'm saying, for your courage and boldness. In the time of this Me Too movement and where it's unpopular to not go with the trend.
Right.
It's really, and that leads into my question. So what gives you the courage? When it just seems like everybody just turned against Robert, and it's so easy to go with the flow. What gives you the courage and the perseverance to just stand? I'm not going to say you're standing alone, but just stand against all that. You know what I'm saying? That's my question to you.
And that's an excellent question. First and foremost,
thank you.
I have always had an excellent relationship with my father. So I love men at my core. If you've had a good relationship with your father, if you've been the apple of your father's eye, intrinsically you love men and you understand men and you're there for men. So me working for celebrities, I've seen what celebrity life is. So I'm around them. I see what these females are willing to do how far they will go. I've just seen it my whole life. So when it comes to doing the right thing, I am a person who was raised, you stand up to any wrong that you see and you don't back down. And I've done that with all situations. So when it came to Robert, it's who I am. Robert has been very important in my life, and he's been someone who, I've said this before on my channel. When I met Robert, he was at the top of his game, living a life that I had never even imagined. I was in awe of him because he was living his dreams on the worldwide stage. And I got to see that up close and personal. I studied him. I learned from him. He inspired me in a lot of ways. So when I saw this avalanche coming down on him, the first question I asked was, what law did he break? I could not find any law that Robert broke. I couldn't find any reason or justification for surviving R. Kelly. And I said to myself, this is going to destroy him. What I saw and what I felt was the entire world coming down on one man. And I knew I had to help him. And I didn't even know what was causing this. I didn't know what was going on because the only person I knew was Robert and Drea. I didn't know these other accusers and what their stories were. I had to learn that as I went. And of course I knew Sparkle, but I had to, first and foremost, try to help Rob. I reached out to him, let him know that I was going to help him. We talked for hours, and then I just started studying Drea and listening to her. And no matter what they were saying about him, I didn't feel he deserved that. So I didn't know what everybody's motive was or what was going on. All I kept saying is, no human being deserves this. Period. Nobody deserves to be publicly lynched like this. And I can't find the crime that he committed. So that was really what got me involved. And the more that I got into it and delved into it, I just saw one liar after another after another. It was just a tsunami of fraud and lies. None of the people that participated in surviving R. Kelly ever thought this was going to go into the legal system because none of them went to the police. They just wanted to get on TV, tell a story, and make a name for themselves. That's all they were after.
Right.
Kim Fox surprised everybody when she did that. But you know who was surprised the most? The people from Surviving R. Kelly. They were like, oh, shit, we were just playing, you know?
Right.
And so they got caught up in some shit.
Playing with his life.
But they never, you don't think somebody's going to be investigated if you never went to the police.
Right, that's true.
You know, this is the first time in history where from a television show, the state's attorney gets on TV and opens up a cattle call.
It's ridiculous. It's utterly, and they're playing with his life. You know what touched my heart, Miss Sharron, when I saw him on Gail's show, and I could see into his soul when he broke down. You know, people laugh about shit like that, but you know, as a man, all I can say is I really felt for him. It almost brought tears to my eyes, and all I can say is, if any good comes from this, Miss Sharron, hopefully, is that he sees who's on his side, who got his back. When his own wife turned on him, the fact that you didn't, you're a walking testimony of why it's important for these little girls to have their daddies in their life. I just got to say that.
That's
really,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
For real.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. Pleasure's all mine. Thanks, man. Good shit.
Man, I appreciate you for calling in, man. Blessings to you.
Yes,
Katrina, you want to call in, baby? What's your number? Give me the first 3 digits of your number, baby, so I know it's you when you calling in. and I'll make sure that you get in. Don't nobody call in. I want Katrina to call in. You guys been hogging it all up. Let the ladies call in. No, I'm gonna let the fellas get. I know y'all want to. Man, I want to talk to Sharon. Man, I know you want to talk to Sharon. Trying to use Rob to trying to slide in on Sharon. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you though. I ain't mad. You know, campaign player, campaign. Be like, oh my God, and the way you spoke in that interview and your passion, Sharon, and the way you eloquently spoke. And I was like, who is this woman? Oh my God. So I began to search you up even more. I ain't mad, man. Campaign. That's the only way we obtain and maintain, man. You know what I mean? Campaign. You know, Katrina, what's your number, baby? I gotta move on. I'm gonna wait until you, but I'm gonna take this call. Hello.
Hey, greetings, Central to P.
Greetings
This
to
is
you.
Tim from Chicago. And Sharron Winbush, greetings to you too.
Hi.
So this interview I found very enlightening, but at the same time, I found myself agreeing with a lot of the points that you were making. And it's pretty cool to know that somebody at least is still in this corner, because just from my discernment, I felt like this entire controversy, trial, circus has just been a witch hunt. You know, I feel as though maybe he might have burnt some bridges, and somebody just had an axe to grind. And then the other people
it could be that.
involved were just, you know, and the other people involved were just opportunists, you know, like you were saying. Crazy enough, though, I did not know until all this stuff started hitting the fan like 5 years ago or whatever, that he couldn't read or write. So it's like really an incredible story that he was able to just be, you know, have a career that was so successful and, you know, be a star and a legend, but couldn't read or write. Usually it's one or the other, but like that's very incredible considering that he couldn't read or write. You know, another thing too, like him and I, we both came from the same high school, so like that whole connection with the music teacher, like she was very famous at that time. You know, a lot of people didn't think that he was actually going to make it. I know he started out.
Brother, no disrespect, but what is your question for Sharon?
Oh, oh yeah. I mean, shoot, just basically, just more so like, you know, a comment. Thanks for providing the details, and I think that's a good thing for people to know. And do you have like a YouTube channel or something?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is my name, Sharron Winbush, Sharon spelled with 2 R's. I've got like 220 videos of research that I've done, behind the scenes stories. I've done a documentary. I'm not sure if Sin has shown that.
Yes, I have.
Patreon.
Those that's on my Patreon seen it. Yes, we have.
Yeah, I talk about Mute R. Kelly, Me Too, Surviving R. Kelly, and the laws they broke. Everybody wants to point at Robert and talk about what he did, but everybody was breaking the law as they were pointing to him. I've got over 200 videos on my YouTube channel, so definitely go there, subscribe, turn on notifications, because you'll find a lot of content there.
Yeah, definitely check it out. And thanks for just providing us with a lot of good insight.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God, I did that shit again. I gotta get it set up where I could only hang up on y'all. Hold on, wait a minute, y'all. Hold on, let me tell her. Call me back. I'm so used to doing that. Hold on, don't call me. Let Sharon call in right quick. Hold on. Hold on, let me call her back. Damn, I didn't mean to do that. He was just in a zone, and I thank you, woo woo. I should have had that Teddy P playing in the background, that Come and Go With Me. Because he was really trying to get his Mac on the shit. Like I said, I ain't mad. Just have a question. Make the shit interesting. Katrina, what you say your number was, baby? Did you say 971? Yeah, while he was talking to Sharon, that's all I heard. Come on and go with me. Yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, man. I heard Teddy talking to the girl. The girl be like, your car's outside? Your car's outside? Yeah. you know? No, I said don't call me right now. Hold on, who is this? No, that ain't Katrina. Probably another hard leg. Hold on for a minute, man. He was macking though. Can y'all get my likes up? I just said, man, don't call me. I'm not gonna answer the phone for you right now unless you Katrina, or Sharon. Don't call me right now. Gotta get everything back on the thing. Hold on. Sharon, if you're listening, call me back. Okay, there goes Sharon. Sharon, my bad. I hung up on you when I was supposed to just hang up on him.
Okay, I get it.
All right, Katrina, call in, baby. I'm looking for that 971 number. You said you wanted to call in. You got the opportunity. Call on in. Can we get them likes to 800? That'd be a beautiful thing. I think this, hold on. Hello?
Hey.
Hey, I like the way you said hey. We already starting good.
Yes, good afternoon, Sinful, and
Sharon.
good afternoon, Miss Sharon.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Hey, I'm doing all right. I just want to say, sis, I really appreciate you just keeping it real, and I appreciate you also just in letting us know all the real information, not the fake foolery that we've seen out here on these channels and everything. And the only thing that I just want to know, who do you think, do you really think that these so-called, I guess these dudes, who do you think is pushing them up to say that Kels has, violated them?
I think they tripped themselves up. When they participated in Surviving R. Kelly, it was a scripted TV show. It wasn't supposed to go anywhere. It was supposed to just get them fame. They were going to do talk shows and radio, get their social media following up. They figured he would take a little hit to his career, but no one expected it to go into the legal system. Once Kim Fox did her call, she had to go talk to them. So now they've got to stick with their story. You see what I'm saying? Because what are you going to tell her? We lied? Now she's going to throw charges at you. So now they put their foot in their mouth. They have to stick with it at this point. Now the feds come in, it just went from bad to worse.
It started out with Dream Hampton and Tamara Simmons, who used to work for Robert, with Asante McGee, feeding them information. And all of this was just supposed to get everybody stardom. That's what it was. Nobody, yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
They didn't have evidence. They didn't have police reports. Who thinks that somebody's going to go to jail because of a TV show? And you got to realize they kept them all separate. So things that they were telling Drea, they weren't telling the others. They just wanted a hit TV show. Nobody thought this would go into a legal situation. Nobody. They were as surprised
even the
as
young
anyone.
lady, right? Even the young lady that was here from Dallas, it's like she wasn't even believable because it's kind of, you claim he did something to you the first time, and then you hopped on the plane and went back over there, and it's kind of like pretty much the same thing with Azriel. It's like when somebody ain't getting no attention, somebody gets mad and they want to say, oh, he did something to me, and that kind of stuff. Like, oh, girl, when she said she was down there at the house, it's kind of like when you went there, and the same thing with her. You wouldn't give me attention like a couple of other young ladies were getting, so now you mad. So it's kind of like, do you think it's the same thing with these young men? Okay, do you think he probably didn't like the way they sounded in the studio, and they probably didn't want to, because we know Kels is a perfectionist. If you're not sounding the way that you should, some men just say, hey, you can't tell me what to do. So do you think it's kind of like that with them, or do you just think, they just lying, pretty much just,
I think the majority of what has come out of all of their mouths is lies. I don't see where the truth is with any of them. And because they were rehearsed for that TV show, they all started saying the same thing. Drea was the first one to use the term monster. Then they all started using it. They all used the term our black girls. What they were doing was brainwashing America. They got you to focus on black girls instead of these groupies. So they dangled this in front of you like these are some 10-year-old black girls that are being abused and not the whores and the groupies that they are. So it was a marketing tool that they used to market a TV show. That, it's like all of it just went wrong. It went into the legal system, and I'm sure they all were like, oh, shit, this is not what we wanted. They didn't. Nobody ran to the police. Geronda Pace was sick about testifying because she knew how many lies she told.
Right.
She's a lie. All of them are liars. You can't find. There's no victim anywhere in any of this stuff. There wasn't a victim on Surviving R. Kelly. It was a joke.
None whatsoever. None at all. And, Joy's mama, she and her dad, they are some crazy people, because if you look and see how they were interrogating that girl, you can just see that Jondelyn was very controlling. And you can kind of tell that her mother was controlling, because it's kind of like Tim Savage was just pretty much doing whatever his wife was telling him to do. And then, they were asking her, who is so-and-so? Who is this girl? She's like, damn.
But they were recording her. They were recording her. Who records their daughter like that? That told you they were doing it for a TV show or some type of financial scheme. Who records that? Who sends the police to a hotel room 30 minutes after your daughter's in there? That's crazy. It was all a setup. Absolute. They were all looking for money. They were all looking for a come up.
And, you know, you got to play this up so they're on TV. They want, you know, they're on red carpet events. His daughter is still with Robert, and yet he's showing up in New York at the trial. Why? Mm-hmm. Your daughter is still with the man that she chooses to be with. What are you and your wife and your younger daughter showing up at the trial for? This is just, girl, oh my God, this is the sickest stuff I've ever seen in my life.
It really is. It really is. And then you got people like, I just couldn't believe old girl on Roland Martin was really taking it there. Fuck you and fuck R. Kelly. And, you know, I'm like, damn, sis, she just really went off. And, I mean, everybody all of a sudden now hates Robert. But years back, y'all was playing bump and grind and all that, you know what I'm saying, in your cars and stuff. Now he's a monster. If you even mention on social media how much, you know, you still like Robert's music, hell, I always say he is the king of R&B, and I don't care what nobody say. You know, people want to say, oh, you ain't shit, and, you know, people want to get, you know, they want to cancel folks. This is the most crazy cancel culture I have ever. You know,
if he had a problem with underage girls, why is he asking for ID? That negates whatever they're saying. If he likes underage girls, if he's such a pedophile, why is he carding people? He wants you 12, you know, or 13 or whatever they're saying. So it doesn't add up. He's asking you for ID. He's asking you repeatedly for ID. When you tell him that you lied about your age, he slaps the shit out of you because he's angry that you lied to him. It doesn't add up that because he loves, you know, he has a fetish for underage girls. No. That can't possibly be.
And then the public announcement dude, I'm like, why are y'all even trying to come up on the scene now? Are y'all mad because he just completely just, you know, stopped dealing with y'all? And then I didn't know that Sparkle was going with one of them, so maybe that has something to do with it too. It sounds like to me somebody.
Well, you know what? I'm glad they did come out because I did not know, the public did not know that Sparkle was married to Earl. Nobody knew that. And had Dre and Rick not gone on those shows, we would have never known that. And that is a key piece of information. Mm-hmm. We did not know that Drea was having sex on the tour bus with the other dancers. Dre revealed that. So they knew. Everybody, to me, brought critical information that they saw and that they knew. Dre and Rick were on the tour bus during that time period. So they were able to say Sparkle was married to Earl. Sparkle left Earl for R. Kelly. That's huge. Mm-hmm. That's huge. Mm-hmm. They were able to say Drea was sleeping in the bed with the other dancers on the tour bus while she had a fiance. That's huge. I was able to say from being in the house, I saw naked pictures of Sparkle with other females, and that she came by the house with another female. So all of that we were able to paint the picture so that the public could see, no, these people are lying, and they're committing fraud. So everybody, you know, we were there. Demetrius was there before me. I knew Dre because Dre had a long-term relationship with Robert, but I didn't know the other two guys from Public Announcement, Rick or Earl. So I would see Dre in the house with Rob because he was still working with Rob throughout that time period. So everybody brought their segment and what they knew, and all of it, you weave it together and it helps Robert. Mm-hmm. Because we're able to say, well, no, wait a minute, I saw this. That can't be true. I was able to say, no, Lisa Van Allen, you didn't live in his house. No woman is going to say I was a studio hoe and I just fucked and sucked on demand. Nobody wants to say that.
So they're all going to pretend like they had a relationship. I was his girlfriend. We were in a relationship. Then why were you sleeping in the studio? What was your address? What was your mailing address? So the fact that, when you ask common sense questions, it says she didn't have a place to live. She didn't have a career, because only someone who is homeless and jobless can come to Chicago, sleep in the studio, and doesn't have to worry about getting back to pay rent or to get to a job. She has no responsibilities. You see? So that tells you where that person was in their life. Okay.
I just want to
All right.
let me just cut in, and just say shout out to DJ Tyson. I see DJ Tyson in the building. I know Sharon and DJ Tyson be having their own little change of words and things like that, but I appreciate the both of them. I wish all R. Kelly supporters, or even those that profess to be R. Kelly supporters, would just be on one accord and just keep the discord at a low volume or non-existent, especially right now, while this trial is going on. This ain't the time to be dissing one another. Somebody go back and even tell Dubowski to stop all that shit he be doing. Talking about people's mamas, and that ain't it right now. This is for you to be prayed up, fasted up, making sacrifices to God for the salvation of this man's soul, for the liberation of this man, so he can get his liberty back in society, not getting into some continuity or some nonsense. Blessings to everybody. But Katrina, you got any more questions or statements, baby?
Oh no, I'm done. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ben, and thank you, Ms. Winbush.
Thank you.
This is my first time hearing your southern voice too, baby. You sound good. Yeah, you sound real good.
Thank you so much.
I always felt cool looking at that little profile, but now that I got a voice to go with it, damn, y'all go show Katrina some love when she get her ass back in that comment section. I just felt the spirit of thickness when she got on the phone. I said, is that southern thickness? But anyway, go. Let me get back to this. You know how I am. Let's stay on track. Thank you for calling in, baby.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Bye.
I told y'all, I want y'all to sit up there. Some of y'all, when the ladies be coming in, y'all be too much into what I'm like. Definitely pay respect to the game, but when the women come in, make sure you greet the ladies. Hello.
Say, man, well, your partner wasn't on supposed to zone at the up on the table bars, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, so let me just say this, like you say, we got to come in, man, greet each other, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to say this, P. How you doing, P? You okay?
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. How you?
Hi. Oh, I'm good. Miss Sharon, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Look, I just want to just say this real quick little thing. As one of the Death Row Lynch mods of the channel, and on the behalf of...
Nigga, I don't know what you did, but you didn't put your phone in the shoe. Come upstairs. You in the basement.
I just said can you hear me now, P?
Yeah, come upstairs. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. All right. My bad. Yeah. I was just saying that, man, on the behalf of the chat, man, I just want to say thank you to both of y'all for even doing this. And because you already know how the shit can be and everything like that. And, shout out to the ladies in the chat. Delicious D from the 3, Candy World. And Katrina sound cool. Don't she sound cool, bitch? Like, for real, though.
This nigga supposed to... See, for those that don't know, this is somebody that I actually know from the streets. This is the pimping. So, of course, he calling in, campaigning and things. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad.
Hey, that's why, Miss Sharon, and that's why I had to call, because I'm like, I see a lot of people in the chat coming from Sharon's channels, probably from other channels, so, you know what I'm saying? So I knew it was going to be a few little this. No, we got a couple little goofies up in there, but, Yes,
Yeah,
well, let's mind.
but
You know, we don't play that. But Miss Sharon, I would like to say this on the behalf of all men all over. I don't give a fuck if you're a judge, skid row, pimp it, whatever. Thank you for staying solid and just being on the right side of the situation, because you have a lot of intel on the details that a lot of us on the outside that we don't know. And we just want to just thank you so much for just being on the right side of this, because if you would have went the other way with it, instead of looking at it like, man, what the fuck is y'all doing about it? Y'all know this is some bullshit. If you would have went the other way with it, like, hell yeah, we can get this nigga. Yeah, I know some real information. Man, that probably, because you know some real important things, you know what I'm saying? So that probably could have just took shit a whole new different direction. So
we
like
thankful that she didn't jump on the bandwagon. We thankful that she had her own mind. We thankful that she didn't use this situation for publicity, which would lead to popularity and currency. She could have went so many ways with this situation, being that she know Rob and that she was all in the house. So, you know what I mean, for her to stay solid in this situation, man, you know what I mean, man, you know what I mean? I just, when Rob get out, man, I hope he show gratitude for the multitude of things that Sharron been doing, you know, while he been locked up, man, you know what I mean? Because, you know, these niggas been acting like bitches. These bitches been looking like niggas and acting like punk bitches. It just been all type of shit going on, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. Because on the other interview, we was listening to the Tasha K interview when she was saying how she was like, nah, you know, the girl always have food in the refrigerator. Like, I made sure everything. Man, just that little part right there, she could have been like, yeah, I was trying to make this, but Robert was saying, don't feed them bitches for another 2 days, and this, and that. I made, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man,
if Sharron would have said, imagine if Sharron would have said, yeah, Rob was going hard on them hoes.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, man, I made some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and shit, but Rob told me to leave them on the stove for 2 days before I give them to him, and leave the milk in the oven. In the oven, leave the milk in the oven. Yes, leave the milk in the oven. He said to get a bitch warm milk. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, and I think, you know what? And just coming from a perspective from being a representative of this game, like, I don't think a lot of people really understand how important that is for you to stay solid and not ride with the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, because coming from this world, you know, it can go from sugar to shit real quick. Any day, I shouldn't tell you. You know what I'm saying? The morning he woke up and went through his bullshit, he didn't wake up that morning thinking like, yeah, today gonna be the day that some bullshit gonna happen, man. I'm gonna have to sit down for a minute. No, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? All right, shit for the P, my nigga. I tap in with you on the, you know what I'm saying, off the tube channel, whatever, whatnot. And
you already know.
You already know. Peace, shout out to the mind, shout out to all the ladies, you know what I'm saying? And hey, I'm going, man. I'm gonna fall back up in there, man. Y'all keep doing your thing, man. I just wanted to show my little small token appreciation. And oh yeah, this is being brought to you by this game, a sponsorship of the cologne you cannot spray on. It's called the Ism. Okay, so y'all stay cool.
Yeah. In a real way. Love you.
For sure. Love you too. I'm gone.
Yeah.
And let me just say my channel one more time. It's the YouTube channel with Sharron Winbush. Sharron spelled with 2 R's. He's got my name in the title of this video. I have over 200 videos that I've done, a docu-series that I've done on this subject that breaks it all down. Sin said he played it on his Patreon. So you guys look at it, share it, spread it so that more people are awakened and enlightened, and that the truth goes far.
Tell them about your Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram is, all my social media are my same name, Sharron Winbush.
But she got a lot of the content from her channel. She got some of that even posted on her IG. You know what I mean? So definitely support her, get them followers up. You know what I mean? And, you know, whenever Sharron posts anything on IG, get in the comment section. When she posts something on YouTube, get in the comment section. Give her feedback. That's how a person get inspiration to keep on going, by seeing the feedback from the people. Get in the comment section and let Sharron know that, you know, you're not alone. We support you and your endeavors. You know, we believe in the same thing that you believe in pertaining to Rob. You know what I mean? Make that known in the comment section. Also, Sharon, did you want to share, because there's so many on YouTube, I ain't stepping on nobody hustle. But every 2 seconds that I look up, somebody always, yeah, if you want to donate to Rob, if y'all want to look out for Rob, you know what I mean, then send it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Send it to Sinful to P. It's all my money, and I ain't gonna send him a damn thing. You know, send that to that Cash App. So, is there a way for people that want to support Rob? Is there a way that they can send Rob money if they desire to send him anything or write him? Do you have that info?
Yeah, you can put it on his books. You can call the prison MDC in Brooklyn and find out how to put money on his books directly so that the money goes direct to him. Rob has not authorized anybody to collect money on his behalf. He does not want that. So all monies go directly to Robert on his books at MDC. At first, Keith told me that one of the lawyers was going to collect money, but Canick said he didn't want to do that because of the problems that they had previously. So nobody is collecting money for Robert. All money that you want to donate or write him, send directly to MDC. And then you can call them and find out how to do that so that the money goes directly to Robert. And then praying for him and sharing my videos. That's very important. Share them, get people to share them, because the more people you can educate on what's going on, the better it is for him, because he does need an army of prayers around him at all times through this.
Yep.
So I thank you. I've got to get going.
Yeah.
I thank you for having me. This has been a great discussion. I thank your chat. I thank everybody for joining. And again, come to my YouTube channel, turn on notifications, subscribe to the channel, and you can get everything you wanted to know but were afraid to ask.
I just want to tell you, thank you. I sincerely appreciate you for coming on the platform, and you gave me exactly what I knew you were going to give me. You gave me the truth, you know, and then you gave the uncut, you know, and then had confirmation to bring it up. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I definitely want everybody to go over there and support Sharon. Make sure you click on the subscribe and also click on the bell. Don't just click on the subscribe button, click on the bell, so whenever she posts, you'll get a notification when she posts. Whenever she go live or she put up a pre-recorded, you'll get the notification that just went down when you hit the bell, you know, over there. Sharon, I appreciate you. Thank you once again for coming.
You.
And blessings to you and blessings to your endeavors.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
All right. All right, man, before we get out of here, get my likes up. Yeah, get them likes up. At least get it up to about a good 850. You did, you know, and after I end this video, somebody be nice enough to put some time marks when certain individuals got spoke on. When Ezreal got spoke on, put a time mark. When Drea got spoke on, put a time mark. When Barry Hankerson got spoke on, put a time mark. When Don Russell got spoke on, put a time mark. When Lisa Van Allen got spoke on, put a time mark. When Sparkle got, spoke on, put a time mark. You know what I mean? Put a time mark on that shit. You know, when Sharon called Ezreal a stank ass bitch and called her a federal informant, when she had got riled up and kicked the door in, when I was trying to explain logically, but she got so vexed in her spirit about this bitch being a punk, stank ass bitch, man, put a time mark on that shit. Help me out, people. You know what I mean? Help me out, man. Put a time mark. I don't know who this is calling me from Kansas. I don't know who that is. Sharon done hung up. But put a time mark there. You know, do that for me. You know, help me out. So when people that didn't get a chance to see the interview, they can go to certain parts, and you know how individuals be. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have the patience to actually listen to damn near 180 minutes of a damn video. So as far as the climaxes of the video, man, do me that favor, man. You know what I mean? Put that in the comment section. But I appreciate you guys. If the Lord say the same, if the blood is still running warm in my vein, hopefully later on I get the opportunity to go live one more again if I got enough time. But if I don't, I'll definitely catch you guys on tomorrow. I love you. I hope you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. Make sure that you share it. Make sure that you like this video. Love all y'all, man. One.